Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show.
Lu Shogwa acted swiftly and resolutely. After saying goodbye to Yi Bai, he went straight back to the Zijin military region and immediately contacted several other military regions. The Neon Nation's fleet was completely wiped out by Xiaoye. Everyone should know that. Now that the Luanfeng Sky Carrier has been built, it needs to be equipped with personnel and weapons, as long as it is elite. Bai Yin nodded and said, "The Songlong Marine Special Forces of the Chongnan military region can be sent there. They have all been equipped with Dark Dragon armor. As one of the three major Yanhuang Special Forces, they are definitely the strongest in the Marine Corps." Lu Shogwa nodded slightly. The current Yanlong Special Force is already the #1 special force in Yanhuang. But if it wasn't for Yi Bai's special care, the Yanlong Special Forces could only rank second, and the Dragon is the top of the three special forces. Yiming also followed suit. "I'll let the Yongyan anti-gravity fighters pass by immediately. All of them are ace pilots. We must equip the sharpest troops with the most cutting-edge technology. The Yongyan anti-gravity fighter is the most advanced fighter in the world, and it is also the work of Yi Bai. It is the most suitable carrier-based fighter. Hey, let's send the logistics troops there from the Chuanqing military region. I don't know if the melons on your side are used to eating Sichuan cuisine." Lu Shogwa laughed loudly. "Everyone loves to eat. The key is to add sugar. It's Sichuan food with sugar." Everyone was talking and laughing, and other military regions also dispatched elite troops. It is bound to give the best to Luanfeng Sky Mothership. It was another mobilization of the 5 major military regions, but this time the scale was not large, and the elites from each military region were mobilized. Zijin military region is the closest. Soon 3 maglev tanks were first transported to Jiangnan shipyard. Yi Bai's eyes lit up slightly when he saw the maglev tank. The research and development capabilities of the Zijin military region are indeed good. The modification is not only the vehicle, but also some technologies developed by him. He originally wanted to unlock the prismatic tank in Red Alert, but now he has all the technical information of the weapon system on the Luanfeng space carrier. With the help of Luban's hand, it is not a problem to make a tank stronger than the prism tank. So he immediately invested in the transformation, hoping to transform one of them before the end of the year. With the arrival of the maglev tank, 3 Ryongian anti-gravity fighters also landed slowly. This is all the fighters manufactured by the Beiyang military region in a few months. After the soldiers opened the sky, the Yongyan fighter hovered over the Luanfeng Sky Mothership and then closed the sky. Lu Shogwa and others do not want to announce this trump card for the time being, and the Zhuhai Air Show in the next year is a good opportunity. Therefore, the highest level of confidentiality policy is still implemented. The sky closed, and Tubai also turned off the mimic stealth of the Phoenix Sky Mothership. Only then did the Ryan Giant anti-gravity fighter land on the deck. Luo Ping and the others got off the fighter plane and looked at this giant in surprise. F***K. I'll be performing missions on this from now on. Awesome. Extraordinary, it's really a heifer climbing a tree. I thought my Ryan Giant was invincible, but I didn't expect that some big guy made this awesome thing again. Finally, combat personnel and logistics personnel, etc., also slowly gathered from the 5 major military regions to Jiangnan shipyard. After the personnel arrived, Yi Bai put down the modification work and took them to familiarize themselves with the configuration of the Luanfeng space carrier. He took the combat personnel to the deck first. Yi Bai will give a brief introduction first. First of all, let me introduce to you. This is the Luanfeng aerospace carrier, just like what you think, an aircraft carrier that flies in the sky. Even though these people are elites from various military regions, they couldn't help but be amazed. Aircraft carrier flying in the sky. Every word is so strange and exaggerated. No wonder they saw this huge ship floating above the dock when they came. Luanfeng has a high degree of intelligence and automation, so you don't need to operate the weapons on it. What you need to operate is more shipboard equipment. Yi Bai said and pointed to the Yongyan anti-gravity fighter. For example, airplanes. In the future, There will be tanks, armored vehicles, etc., and more equipment. After all, this warship has a load of 100,000 tons, which is not bad. Damn it, Tianwanwan. Now, even if they are elite and well-informed, they can't help it. Can bring thousands of tanks. No, you should think so. It can take another aircraft carrier to the sky. Listen to what he said, it's not bad. Everyone listened to Yi Bai's introduction in disbelief. This is completely beyond their common sense. With a loading capacity of 100,000 tons, what a joke. If the loading capacity exceeds 20 tons, it is called a bomb train. If this battleship was loaded with bombs, what would it be called? What kind of engine is needed to bring such a large warship and 100,000 tons of equipment to the sky? Luo Ping and others are better, because the Yongyuan anti-gravity fighter they drive also has a loading capacity of nearly 2,000 tons. That's a fighter jet. It is several times heavier than the load of the world's largest transport aircraft in 225. Luo Ping raised his hand and asked, "Excuse me, how heavy is this warship?" Yi Bai stretched out 2 fingers. Only more than 200,000 tons. 200,000 tons is still called only? Everyone gasped. This is flying in the sky, twice the size of the largest nuclear-powered aircraft carrier in Ying Jiang. Plus the load is 300,000 tons. If they hadn't stood on this huge monster, they would never have understood what they said. And many more. Luo Ping found a point. You said more than 200,000 tons. How much is it? Yi Bai smiled. Probably less than 80,000 tons. That's all. Everyone was speechless after hearing the words. You call 80,000 tons you? This is the full weight of a number 001 aircraft carrier. That's the weight of an aircraft carrier. Yi Bai waved his hand. Okay, that's not the point. Let me show you each area. After speaking, he took the lead and walked towards an elevator, and everyone quickly followed. Soon, everyone came to the bottom of the battleship. This is Luanfeng's dock cabin. It is divided into 2 floors. It can hold tanks and armored vehicles. The fixing system here will automatically adjust and fix according to the equipment. So in theory, any equipment can be loaded. Luanfeng has a terrifying height of 168 meters, so the dock cabin is divided into 2 floors. Everyone looked at the 50-meter-high dock, which was only 1 floor. F***K, this is too big. OMG, and it can hold any equipment. If you stack up the planes, you can put several layers here. Yi Bai was a little surprised when he heard this. Smart, it can indeed be stacked here. In theory, although these fixing systems can bear a small load, there are still 100 tons. There are 3 layers in total, which can fix equipment of different heights. If it is an airplane, you can hold the landing gear of the aircraft to fix it and then stack 3 layers. So in theory, it can be stacked. Even tanks can. Everyone heard Yi Bai's inhuman words, and they no longer knew how to describe it. When others said it casually, he actually took it seriously, and he can really do it. True pervert. Everyone looked at the sophisticated fixed equipment on the ground again. Just this one fix system was enough to sweep the world. Never heard of a fixture that automatically adjusts. Yi Bai continued to lead the crowd inside and introduced the entire cabin of the battleship. After everyone came out, several hours had passed. The canteen here is bigger than the lobby of a 5-star hotel. The bedrooms here are all 1-bedroom, 1-bath, single-person apartments. There are washing machines and everything. There is also a farm here where you can raise chickens. There are also plantations here where you can grow vegetables. There is a whole set of ecological cycle system here, compressing water from air. There is also a KTV here. There is also a pool games room. This is a battleship. This is a city that can fly. Everyone is numb. This is so F***king luxurious. There is no such thing as boring life on board, and the food and housing are even better than on land. There are also various entertainment facilities, and you can live a completely self-sufficient life, even if it doesn't come down from the sky. Real 7/24/365 cruise. The tonnage is large, the space is large. There is no way, so you have to have everything you need. Yi Bai said with a smile. This is the most advanced Versailles I have ever seen. Then he sorted out the basic battleship information and gave it to the commander assigned by the military region. It was Du, Rear Admiral of the Chongnan military region, and also the captain of the Tsanglong Marine Special Forces, one level higher than Wang Kamang. He is responsible for commanding the battleship as a whole, and Wang Kamang will cooperate with leading the combat team to fight. Yi Bai took Du Yu and Wang Kamang to familiarize themselves with the operation of the battleship and its weapons and equipment. Finally, I sorted out the command system information of the battleship and handed it to him. He plunged headlong into the modified maglev tank. A week later, there are only 2 days before Chinese New Year. Yi Bai found Wang Kamang. You ask 3 people who can drive tanks to come over. I have 3 slightly modified tanks here. Let them drive to test 0. Wang Kamang's eyes lit up when he heard the words. He had been living on the Luanfeng Sky mothership with the people of the Yanlong Special Forces for a few days, just to quickly adapt to the life and layout above. I am familiar with all the combat troops of the various military regions that came to the battleship, and they're all elite. No problem. He immediately called 3 tank drivers over. There's no room here. You guys drive back to the Zijin military region for a test. Lu Shouguo personally stood at the gate of the military area to greet the 3 tanks modified by Yi Bai. Beside him are Shen Yi, chief tank officer of the Zijin military region, and Lu Qingquan, chief of the Army's General Armament Department. This is the 3 maglev tanks I sent over. Lu Shouguo stared at the 3 unfamiliar, yet familiar maglev tanks with wide eyes. Familiarity is because the magnetic levitation vehicle has not changed. Strange because everything is different except for the vehicle. Originally, they only modified the vehicle, added 2 guns YBD-01 and YBZ-10, and replaced the armor with phase armor. The main gun is still the 125mm smoothbore gun of 99A. Originally, I wanted to change it to the cation cannon on the Yongyan anti-gravity fighter, but it consumed too much energy. It can only be used normally if it is equipped with a controllable nuclear fusion energy device. The cation cannon of the Ryan Giant prototype can only be fired 3 or 4 times, and the aviation fuel will be exhausted, and its power is not complete. Now all 3 tanks have different muzzles. Also canceled the guns they attached and replaced them with strange contraptions. Shinny looked at the strangely shaped maglev tank in amazement. Well, who modified this? Lu Shouguo came back to his senses and said, it was modified by Academician Yi, and YBD-01 and YBZ-10 including the magnetic levitation were all developed by him. It's really a hero out of a boy. Shinny laments, these tanks look more sci-fi now. Originally, magnetic levitation and 2 avant-garde rifles looked very sci-fi. It looks even less like a technology product of this era now. Let's drive to the shooting range and try it out. Lu Shouguo and the others followed 3 maglev tanks to the tank shooting range. The most normal muzzle should be tested first. Lu Shouguo pointed to a tank with a round muzzle, but the muzzle is 100 million dots bigger, maybe 500 millimeters. The barrel is very short, and it is normal because compared with the other 2, it still looks like a cannon. Although there is a crystal in the muzzle, it does not look ordinary. The driver took a look, and the 830 easily found a way to aim and shoot. Use electronic aiming directly, and the fire control will control the automatic adjustment of the muzzle. The driver presses the launch button. Suddenly, a beam of red high-energy concentrated laser shot out instantly and irradiated on the high-strength concrete target. Lu Shouguo and the others immediately took out their binoculars and looked at the target. The 3 exclaimed at the same time. I saw a 1-meter-thick concrete target melting at a speed visible to the naked eye. In the end, it was melted directly. A big hole was left in the center, still dripping molten stone magma and molten iron. Lu Qingquan couldn't help admiring. F***K, F***K, F***K. Lu Shouguo couldn't believe it and checked it several times with the telescope. It just melted? Shun, he felt his scalp go numb. This is a laser cannon? The energy is too great. At present, the most powerful laser cannon equipped in the world is Ying Jiang's, with a power of 300 kilowatts, which can shoot down drones in an instant, and is still in the experimental stage. What is actually equipped is Yin Wang's 30 kilowatt laser weapon, which is still relatively usable for fighting small drones, but it cannot reach the level of a cannon. It is also impossible to melt concrete and steel bars. If you want to melt a 1-meter thick concrete, you may need to continue to irradiate for more than 10 minutes. By then, the target may not be melted, and the machine will break down first. And the laser cannon on this tank only took about 3 seconds to do it. If this is used to fight tanks, you can wear one in a few seconds. And the laser is at the speed of light. How to dodge it? As long as the fire control of this tank can continue to follow and lock the target for more than 3 seconds, it can kill all the tanks in the world. Lu Shogua does not doubt Yi Bai's technology at all, let alone 3 seconds. Even if he keeps locking the fire control system for 30 seconds, he believes it will be very easy for Yi Bai. We may have to open up the landscape now. Lu Shogua and the other two said, these 3 tanks are no longer limited to attacking tanks and ground targets. This laser tank can completely complete the air-to-air mission. As the chief engineer of tanks, Shen Yi's research on tanks is almost unmatched. This is also the reason why the Zhejiang military region was able to transform the maglev so quickly. Their magnetic levitation tank modification level is quite high, saving Yi Bai a lot of value. Yi Bai has never been involved in tank manufacturing before, but the magnetic levitation technology can be applied to it. The completed projects are all confidential, never made public, and only a few people know. Shunyi also just found out that the weapons they modified and the magnetic levitation were developed by Yi Bai, but they didn't know how powerful Yi Bai's scientific research ability was. Now seeing this first modified tank, I have recognized Yi Bai's ability. He nodded and said, that's right, as long as the fire control of this tank can keep up with it, it's no problem to hit air targets. It's said that a helicopter is a tank opener. Now with this tank, it's a helicopter killer. The weak armor of the helicopter can't stop the laser cannon for a second. Test the second one. Lu equals look at the second tank. The muzzle of this tank is like an octopus consisting of 8 metal rods. It is the heavy electron cannon on the Luban aerospace mothership. Still a meter-thick concrete target. The driver directly pressed the launch button, and suddenly a strong electric light condensed from the muzzle. Is this a plasma ball? Shunyi stared wide-eyed at the white plasma at the muzzle of the gun. It's definitely a plasma ball inside, and the outside is an electronic thunderstorm. He once studied the feasibility of the development of the magnetic storm tank, but because the scientific research was too difficult and did not meet the current technological development capabilities, it was finally shelved. But he has done a lot of research on electronics and saw that the tank on this tank is exactly the legendary plasma, which contains powerful energy. But plasma is irritable and extremely difficult to control. Unexpectedly, Yi Bai not only knows how to control it, but also makes it into a weapon. The heavy electron shells instantly shot towards distant targets with a fierce squeak sound. Immediately, the berserk plasma shot up into the sky with a strong electric sound. Although it was not as big as that on the Wanfeng Sky mothership, it still covered a radius of 20 meters. Things within 20 meters are like being baptized by fierce lightning. The scorching white lightning furiously destroyed everything within the strike range. The 1-meter-thick high-strength concrete target was blown to pieces. The 3 of Lu Shogua felt a gust of hurricane blowing towards them, and the wind was mixed with a little static electricity. Lu Chinkuan stammered, Too strong. He originally came here for the mass production of maglev tanks, but he happened to meet the modified tank sent by Yi Bai for testing. Originally, he knew that Yi Bai's scientific research ability was very strong, but he only really saw 2 rifles. Now he saw the weapons developed by Yi Bai for the first time. They are all so abnormal. He saw the first laser cannon, and this electronic thunderstorm tank is even more exaggerated. Everything within 20 meters was destroyed, smashed to pieces. Lu Shogwa touched his bristling hair. I feel that this is probably a weapon on the Wanfeng Sky mothership. Based on his understanding of Yi Bai, he would basically modify the existing equipment to other weapons. In addition, the 6 warships of the Lanhai Neon Kingdom were all blown up, which was exactly the same as the concrete target, so it was associated with it. Shunyi clenched his fists. It is much stronger than the magnetic storm tank he wants to develop. It is not a weapon of one dimension at all. His design concept is to launch a strong current to form an electronic thunderstorm. That is the Tinkong grid around the heavy electron shell. He couldn't even study this layer of power grid, which was extremely difficult. Not to mention the real plasma ball inside that needs to compress the electric energy to the extreme. With the technology he understands, it is impossible to control the manic electric energy. I really want to meet Academician Yi. What kind of person can create such a powerful weapon? Shen Yi's voice was very excited. With these weapons, our army can definitely dominate the world. Lu Shogwa said meaningfully. We will see him soon, and the whole world will know him by then. Lu Qingquan looked at the remaining 3rd tank. The first 2 were already abnormal enough, so the 3rd tank must not be far behind. At this time, Lu Shogwa received a piece of information transmitted by Yi Bai, as well as a voice. This is the basic information of the 3 tanks. I added an intelligence system to it, so the operation is very simple and one person can handle it. But you can understand the basic functions. After listening, Lu Shogwa immediately projected the information in front of his eyes through the capsule phone, and then zoomed in, so that both Shen Yi and Lu Qingquan could see it. They have already tested the previous 2 tanks. The last one turned out to be a defensive tank, and the tank can also be the main defense. Lu Qingquan looked at the gun barrel that looked like a signal tower. It was the first time he heard that the tank's cannon was not for attacking. Shunyi looked at the data and muttered to himself. EMP electromagnetic field tank. The function is to deny all guided missiles within 20 kilometers and destroy the enemy's electronic equipment within the field. After a while, he sighed. The application of EMP has actually been studied in the world, but it is only at the theoretical stage. And the direction of research is to paralyze other people's electronic equipment, but Yi Bai actually created it directly to destroy other people's electronic equipment. The difference in this word, the difficulty of research and development, can be imagined. Lu Shogwa put away the projector and said excitedly, with these 2 tanks, our infantry will no longer be afraid of the enemy's missile attack. A tank can protect a range of 20 kilometers, which is almost equivalent to covering the entire battlefield, and can protect all soldiers of one's own side. Shunyi looked at the last EMP electromagnetic field tank and said, I feel that these 3 tanks can directly destroy a battalion, or even an armored division. Lu Shogwa nodded approvingly. Let's test it. Just let the troops send a missile over and hit our current position. Lu Shogwa has absolute trust in Yi Bai's equipment. He just wanted to personally feel the defensive effect brought by this weapon. Shun Yi and Lu Qingquan looked at each other, and they both chose to trust. Shun Yi said, come on, a super genius who can realize high-energy beam lasers, plasma balls, and electronic thunderstorms. There is no problem in realizing the EMP field. Lu Shogwa immediately contacted the missile force stationed more than 200 kilometers away and asked them to launch a precision-guided missile with powerful penetration capabilities. Chief, are you sure? Your place is not a missile range, but a tank range. It may be dangerous to you. Lu Shogwa confirmed. That's right, it's a tank shooting range. Shoot directly. Danger there is. But he believes in Yi Bai. Not calm enough? Wrong. On the contrary, he is very calm. Don't worry. I'm here to test an anti-aircraft weapon, and I'm far away from the tank target. Just shoot. The protection range of tanks in the EMP field is 20 kilometers, and the entire tank shooting range is within its protection range. So in fact, Lu Shogwa had calculated that it would not be too dangerous. After the missile troops confirmed, although they were a little confused, since the chief ordered, they could only carry out the order. Fenglong 1 missile launches. Target Zijin tank range. Soon a precision-guided missile launched into the tank firing range. This is a precision-guided missile with an equivalent of 500 tons of TNT. It is very fast and has a strong penetration capability. Lu Shogwa also immediately ordered, "Activate the weapon of the third tank." The driver immediately pressed the start button, and suddenly a beam of light rose into the sky and then spread out into a blue light curtain with a radius of 20 kilometers. Directly surrounded the entire tank shooting range. Lu Shogwa heard the roar of the missile engine, and all three of them looked towards the sky, only to see a missile approaching with a long tail flame. Fengshan 1 is approaching the target. The distance is 20 kilometers. There was a loud bang. When the missile hit the blue light curtain, it immediately lost all power. Sparks burst out and finally exploded. Fengshan 1 was intercepted by an unknown air defense system. The people in the missile force wiped off their sweat. It seems that this air defense system is quite reliable. There are not many air defense systems that can intercept the Fengshan 1 missile, but I don't know how successful this air defense system is in intercepting. Too strong, haha. Lu Shogwa couldn't help laughing out loud. They really felt the power of the EMP electromagnetic field. Shinny excitedly said, "There is no such defense mechanism in the whole world." Lu Qingkuan nodded again and again. The current science is still in the anti-aircraft missiles and other such weapons, but Academician Yi is already researching energy defense. Lu Shogwa laughed and said, "Xiaoye is an era ahead of the world. It also means that our Yin Huang is an era ahead of the world." Shinny nodded in agreement and said, "It's a blessing for the country." Lu Qingkuan thought for a while and said, "I just happen to be here. I have seen all three of these tanks, and their performance is absolutely fine. Just make the most of them. What kind of approval is needed for this? It is completely an epic-making weapon." Lu Shogwa was very satisfied. It is true that it can be mass-produced directly. Xiaoye only needs to be modified to have such power. It is already a brand new equipment. Shinny nodded. "Let's wait for the test to be completed first." The main weapon test has been completed, and there are still 2 small launchers that have not been tested. All 3 tank main weapons have now been tested. Lu Shogwa looked at the information given by Yi Bai. The 2 small launchers are EMP concussion bombs, which are small-scale EMP attack weapons and can also be used for defense. This is understandable. There is also an armor-piercing bomb, which can automatically penetrate the enemy's armor and fortifications and blast from the inside. All 3 tanks have a large primary weapon range. These 2 small launching devices are obviously specially designed for a single target, so as to prevent the main gun from killing too much and causing unnecessary damage. Shinny thought for a while and said, "EMP shock bombs don't need to be tested. We have seen the attack method before. Let's test the armor-piercing explosive bombs." Lu Shogwa nodded. "No problem. I'll have someone pull a scrapped old tank over for testing." Soon, a 5-pair wheel was towed to the shooting range. Lu Shogwa ordered, "Attack with armor-piercing explosive bombs." These 2 small arms are the standard equipment of Yi Bai's modified tank, and they're found on all 3 tanks. The pilots all fired one. Bang, bang, bang. There were 3 muffled sounds in a row, and 3 cylindrical mechanical shells were fired from the launcher, spinning the 100-weight tank at high speed. Clang, clang, clang. 3 strange mechanical shells hit the abandoned tank and did not explode. Instead, like a magnet, the top is all absorbed on the surface of the tank. Suddenly, the tail of the mechanical shell began to change rapidly. There was a sound of metal cutting, and the shell went straight into the abandoned tank. Then 3 violent explosions sounded, and the abandoned tank was directly blasted from the inside. Lu Qingkuan couldn't help but exclaimed again, F***K. He felt that he said more shit than he said today. Shin Yi's eyes lit up. "It's the first time I've seen this method of piercing armor. It seems to be very easy to enter the interior." Lu Shogwa clapped his hands. "This is more powerful than any armor-piercing bullet. In fact, this is also the weapon on the Wanfeng Sky mothership, but the one on the battleship is bigger. Although cation cannon and heavy electron cannon are powerful, Their rate of fire is relatively slow. Armor-piercing explosive shells are used to fill the gaps in their shooting. Its launch frequency is high, and its power is not small. It can completely ignore the existing armor and fortifications of the Earth and directly destroy it internally. The shells can be loaded automatically and can be launched continuously like a Katyusha rocket launch vehicle. After these 3 tanks are put into production, they must be sent to the Zhejiang military region as soon as possible. There is a national heavy weapon that needs to be equipped, Lu Shogwa and Lu Qingquan said. For the time being, the weapon is still in the confidential stage, so I can't tell you. It is expected to be fully unveiled at the Zhuhai Aviation Exhibition next year. Originally, these 3 tanks were remodeled by Yi Bai for the Wanfeng space carrier, so they should be equipped with battleships as soon as possible. Lu Qingquan nodded and said, "No problem. I will contact the General Production Department of the Army to develop these 3 tanks first and strive to put them into production as soon as possible." After speaking, he went aside to contact the General Production Department. Lu Shogwa looked at Shunyi again. "I have to trouble you to develop together with the production department. Xiaoya has already passed on all the technical information to me, and I will hand it over to you. You can help them complete production faster by joining the production department." Asking for flowers. Shunyi nodded. "No problem. He just wants to study these 3 tanks. There are too many technologies in them that he wants to know." At this time, Lu Qingquan had already finished contacting. It's fixed the largest resources will be devoted to research and development over there, and the equipment model has also been preliminarily determined. Let's see if it works. Lu Shogwa nodded. "Say it." "I decided based on the naming method of the first 2 guns. I temporarily named the 3 tanks YBTU tanks, which represent laser tanks. YB is the initials of academician Yi, and J is the type of tank. There are YBT, 2Z heavy electron tanks, and YBT, 3E EMP field tanks." Lu Qingquan said the model of the equipment, which was simple and clear, and still started with Yi Yu's name. All military equipment is required to have an official number when it is put into production. "Fine, no problem." Lu Shogwa agreed to the model number, and then sighed. Xiaoya is almost developing his exclusive serial numbered equipment. 0. Such an achievement is unique in the world. Lanhai and Ying Jiang's 3rd fleet have also arrived. Dale said displeasedly, "Joseph, you are much slower. Originally said to arrive in 2 weeks, but it took nearly a month." Joseph didn't care and smiled and said, "I'm sorry, Dales. There was a little accident on the road, and I went back to Yudong to deal with the matter. Anyway, you can take care of Yanwang's side alone, can't you?" Dale snorted coldly. "No, it's a bit of a surprise this time." Joseph was a little surprised. "Oh, a surprise? What kind of surprise can there be here? Yanwang has always wanted to develop peacefully, so it's easy to handle." Dale shook his head, his face serious. "No, although I don't know what happened to Yanwang, but their attitude is extremely tough, and it is really an attitude that can go to war. Believe me, Joseph, this is definitely not a joke. They will go to war." In the past, because of the development strategy of the Yanhuang kingdom, at most they would use force to deter them, but they would not really provoke a war. But it's different now. That day when the Neon Nation's fleet provoked him, Yanhuang Nation's attitude surprised him. It looked like a war was about to start. This made him very suspicious of why Yanhuang Kingdom would suddenly change its development strategy. The factors in this are very important. It is impossible for a country to change its development strategy suddenly, unless there is a huge change. Joseph smiled contemptuously. "Dals, you're old too. It's said that you're good at using tricks. It seems that it's just because you're old." Dale sneered and didn't speak. Joseph glanced at him. "Okay, I'm going back. Let's watch my performance in the face of absolute force. Any trick is superfluous." As he spoke, he casually put on his coat and left the First Fleet and returned to his 3rd Fleet by helicopter. Dales looked at his leaving figure and said with a sneer, "It seems that there is not much difference from Michael, but he is more arrogant than Michael. Humph. Ignorant arrogance will make you suffer a lot." Joseph returned to the Heiken aircraft carrier, immediately put away the smile on his face, and summoned the adjutant. "Lycus, there are 2 days before the spring festival of the Yanhuang Kingdom. Go and issue a notice that our Ninth Fleet will join forces with Bend Island tomorrow. The Hong Kingdom is holding a live-fire military exercise, which will take place in the waters between the Bend Island and the Yinhuang Kingdom. Lycus nodded immediately. No problem, General. I will make an announcement and select the sea area. Joseph waved his hand to let him go down. He looked at the first fleet of dhows in the distance and said with disdain, "Stimulate me, boring plots, as I said, in the face of absolute force. Any plots and enemies are useless." Yinhuang? Soon, an announcement was issued, and Yinhuang Kingdom was notified very quickly. I, George Joseph of the Ninth Fleet, will lead the Ninth Fleet tomorrow to conduct a live-fire military exercise in conjunction with Bend Island and Neon Nation within 100 nautical miles of 142 degrees north latitude and 762 degrees east longitude. At that time, a navigation ban will be implemented. Trespassers will be regarded as enemy attacks, and the consequences will be at their own risk. After reading the announcement, Lu Shogwa said angrily, "This is targeting us? Tomorrow is the day before the New Year's Eve, and they're going to conduct a drill between us and Wandao. Isn't that just for us to see? It's too arrogant." At this time, both Yi Bai and Lu Shogwa came to Ying Jiang, preparing to participate in the special program of August 13th and the New Year's Eve party. He was also at the side, watching several chiefs deal with the problem. Eagle Sauce can be so domineering, just because he has 10 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. There are thousands of aircraft, all extremely advanced. In this world, whoever's fist is hard, whoever speaks counts. Ming's face darkened. In recent years, they have been acting more and more, and they are still imposing a navigation ban in front of our house. We must not let them go easily this time, because Yinhuang Kingdom is developing faster and faster, and its strength in all aspects is growing rapidly. Therefore, Ying Jiang blocked Yinhuang Kingdom more and more. There are also more small movements, just to stimulate the Yinhuang Kingdom, show their muscles, and consolidate their dominance. Ying Jiang said angrily, "Damn it, let's practice right next to them, and also use live ammunition." Bai Yin clenched his fists. "We have endured development for so long. Xiaoya has developed so many technologies. We are no longer the Yinhuang we used to be. This time we must wake them up severely." Huang Renyu, commander of the Huatai military region, took the case. "Take out all our latest technologies. With Yinhuang Kingdom's new military equipment, if all of them are used, it will definitely shock the whole world." Actually, Yi Bai spoke suddenly, and the 5 chiefs all looked at him. He immediately felt a lot of pressure, but he still bit the bullet and said, "Just try the main gun of the Wanfeng Sky mothership, the full-power anti-city cation gun. The power should be okay. Of course, it would be better to play space. As the name suggests, the positive ion cannon for the city is aimed at the city. The power is countless times greater than that of the Yongyan anti-gravity fighter." Lu Shogwa asked, "Is this cannon very powerful?" He automatically ignored what Yi Bai said was okay. Yi Shiver sighed. He had a deep understanding. Yi Bai nodded. "It should be barely enough to blow up a Zijin city." Jin Jianjun said in shock, "What? Directly bomb Zijin city? F***K. This exclamation rose in the hearts of the 5 chiefs at the same time. One shot, one Zijin city. No wonder it's called Duochenjiang Ion Cannon. It turns out that it means one cannon and one city. Zijin City has nearly 7,000 square kilometers. Destroying 7,000 square kilometers with one cannonball is simply a fantasy, even if it is currently the strongest sand yellow nuclear bomb. The equivalent is 50 million tons of TNT equivalent. It is more than 2,300 times that of the Fat Man nuclear bomb. Its effective killing range is only more than 2,000 kilometers. The range of the shock wave is tripled, and it is only close to 7,000. And the main gun of the Wanfeng space carrier only needs one shot. One shot can destroy 7,000 square kilometers. This is not a cannon. This is nuclear fusion plugged into the barrel." After a long time, Lu Shogwa slowly closed his wide mouth. Even if they are used to seeing Yi Bai's perverted invention, It is difficult for them to accept the power of this weapon for a while. It's so perverted. Not to mention not knowing much about Huang Renyu. He stammered. Xiao Yi, I know you are very strong, but is it too outrageous? You want to play Star Wars? Yi Bai quickly shook his head. No, it's not outrageous at all, and star-level wars should use star-killing cannons. One shot is one planet. One shot, one planet. Everyone felt their scalps go numb. Only Yi Bai dared to say that. Dare to think so. It's so outrageous that it looks like a sci-fi movie. They don't know what to say anymore. Lu Shogwa took a deep breath. Let's talk about it. Then, according to Xiaoya's intention, use the main gun of the Luanfeng Sky mothership to fire a shot. Yiming nodded. No problem, but if you go to space, you must have a target and a deterrent effect. Yi Bai laughed and said, Federal Space Station. The sky circles the blue star 15 times. Let's find a time when the Federal Space Station and the moon are on the same line, and rub the space station to send the moon a shot. Isn't this the best deterrent? Everyone's eyes lit up when they heard the words, and they all looked at Yi Pu. How bad is this kid? Still the same as before, full of little foxes. I'm afraid that when he heard that Ying Jiang was conducting exercises, he already had the idea of using anti-Qingyang ion cannons to hit the Federal Space Station on the side of the moon. Now that the decision had been made, Lu Shogwa immediately had someone make the same announcement. On the aircraft carrier Haiken, Joseph learned that Yanhuang Kingdom would conduct a weapon test tomorrow, or attack space. Yanhuang Kingdom wants us to pay attention to avoiding tomorrow's weapon experiment? Joseph said angrily. How do we avoid space experiments? What do they want to do? The Federal Space Station or our satellite? Lycus said cautiously. We have long heard that the Yanhuang Kingdom has weapons against satellites. I'm afraid this time we want to test this weapon against our military exercise. Joseph disdainfully said. He thinks they're the only ones that have anti-satellite weapons? We still have them in space. When that project is completed, no matter what equipment Yanhuang has, you must be obedient to me. Control nuclear fusion technology? We must gotta get it. Lycus asked. Then shall we have a military exercise tomorrow? Joseph said loudly. Yes, why not a military exercise? I want to see what they use to fight in space. The next day, the atmosphere in Lanhai was extremely tense. The three fleets of Eagle Sauce, Bend Island and Neon Country are all preparing in the Ayrshire Sea. The Eagle Sauce Third Fleet has a newest 100,000-ton Fuet-class nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, 4 10,000-ton Bach-class destroyers, 2 10,000-ton DDJ, 1,000 IC combat ships with sci-fi shapes, and 1 latest electronic battleship. There are also 8 frigates and 2 10,000-ton nuclear-powered submarines. The Third Fleet is out. Such a configuration is the capital of Joseph's arrogance. No country in the world can come up with such a luxurious aircraft carrier battle group. Bend Island also brought out the best warships, but they can't compare with the Third Fleet at all. Even Neon Country is much stronger than them. Oda personally led the Neon Nation fleet to participate in the military exercise. Baga, this time we must log in successfully. Taking advantage of this opportunity again, they secretly dispatched a landing ship to Kirishima, and they are bound to land on it. The eyes of the whole world are focused on Lanhai. This time is the most confrontation between Ying Jiang and Yanhuang Kingdom, and the atmosphere is extremely tense. Head-to-head confrontation between two world superpowers. It indicates that one party must compromise. The strategy of the Yanhuang Kingdom in the past has never been like this, but this time it is extremely tough. Surprised all countries in the world. In the morning, the military exercise of the 9th Fleet Alliance of Eagle Sauce did not start, as if it was waiting for something. Fake, Yanhuang Kingdom wants to start at the same time as us? Joseph roared angrily. What kind of medicine did they take wrongly? They are so tough. He looked viciously in the direction of Yanhuang Kingdom. Let's start a live-fire drill. Let's see who is the strongest. Let the other two fleets directly show their strongest strength and release them all. One side conducts live ammunition exercises, and the other side experiments with weapons. Both are flexing their muscles. Only when one side is stronger than the other can this target be brought to an end. In other words, there must be one party that is stronger than the other. This is something the world wants to know. Is the old world policeman Ying Jiang stronger, or the re-emerging Yanhuang kingdom's weapons are sharper? The news of tit-for-tat between the two countries also set off a wave of enthusiasm on the internet, becoming the hottest topic in the world on 2.9 balls. I've been annoyed by seeing Ying Jiang for a long time. I go to other people's houses all day long to make troubles. I really think I'm invincible. K them to death. What the hell, if necessary. I will respond to the call of the country at any time. Support the country, you should be so tough. You conduct exercises to show force. I will test weapons to show force and see who is stronger. Chong. I believe that the motherland will surely win. The other side. The sky of Jiangnan Shipyard's 300,000-ton dock was opened. The Luanfeng Sky mothership opened the main gun in front of the battleship in the state of mimicry stealth. Calculate the coordinates of the Federal Space Station and the coordinates of the Moon, and calculate the firing time and angle. Headquarters, do you quickly issued an order? All operators cooperate and perform operations. Report. Federal Space Station coordinates locked. Report. The coordinates of the Moon have been calculated. Report. The firing angle and time are being calculated in real time. Everyone is ready. The name of the weapon is not a typo. In order to prevent being banned, the last chapter wrote about the real weapon and entered it again. The homophonic used. All carrier-based aircraft are lifted into the air. At Joseph's order, the aircraft carrier Heiken can carry 30 to 40 aircraft. The carrier-based planes are all lifted off one after another. Dozens of planes are flying in the sky at one time. The momentum is huge. The roar of the engine resounds through the surrounding seas. Neon Country also took off F-35 vertical takeoff and landing fighter jets and formed a formation flight. From Galaxican. Thanks to the Eagle Sauce, this is too spectacular. From Eagle Sauce. Oh my god, who can compete with such a huge fleet? From Bangzi Kingdom. Now that the verdict has been decided, what about Yanhuang Kingdom and such an invincible fleet? From A3 Kingdoms. Only our aircraft carrier battle group can wrestle with Ying Jiang, not Yanhuang. The eyes of the whole world are gathered here, and people are discussing this confrontation between Yanhuang Kingdom and Ying Jiang. Joseph looked confidently at the densely packed fighter jets above his head. With only these planes, he can sweep the oil pressure in the sea ahead, simulate an attack on the enemy fleet, all using anti-ship missiles. Joseph ordered that immediately all fighter jets aim at the target sea area and launch anti-ship missiles. Dozens of fighter jets and warships strike at the same time. Overwhelming missiles fired at the target sea area, and the sound of explosions continued to sound. A wave of water soars into the sky. From Foodie, Eagle Sauce's firepower is too fierce. We should spend money to buy one of their nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. From Sunset. Shet, it's too spectacular. Oh Shet, this round of attack can destroy an entire fleet by 22. From German. That's right, it's too strong. The strength of Ying Jiang is unquestionable. Why Yanhuang Kingdom hasn't experimented with weapons yet. From Baba Yang. Our good brother must have a big killer. Just wait and see. From Neon Country. Haha, Yanhuang Country won't be afraid. Joseph commanded the exercise to continue. Near anti-aircraft guns, naval guns, missiles. The fleet is fully fired. All of a sudden it was hot. In the Jiangnan shipyard, in the headquarters of the Luanfeng aerospace carrier. Do you kept a close eye on the coordinates of the Federal Space Station and the distance from the position of the Moon? Coming. It is extremely difficult to calculate for the anti-city cation cannon to hit the Moon accurately by rubbing against the Federal Space Station. Fortunately, it is all done by the shipboard large quantum computer. Everyone is ready. Everyone held their breath and looked closely at the projection. Fire. One order. The main gun on the bow of the Luanfeng Sky mothership burst out with dazzling brilliance, and then shot out a red beam of light in an instant. The thick beam of light flashed across in an instant, as if piercing through the sky, straight into the sky. The main gun of the Luanfeng aerospace carrier fired continuously for 3 seconds before closing it again. The sky is drawn back up. Ying Jiang satellite TV broadcast the launch live from outside the Jiangnan shipyard. Hi everyone, I'm Bing Bing, reporter from Ying Jiang satellite TV. Just now, our weapons were launched. As you can see, that pillar is holding up the sky, break through the clouds, and cut through the fog, straight into space. This blow will let the world see a corner of Manhwa Kingdom's strength. This blow can wake up those countries that still have backward thinking about Manhwa Kingdom. This blow hit one punch so as not to avoid 100. Bing Bing still explained impassionately. What the hell is that? Nima, you're directly piercing the sky. This is too cool. Is it a laser weapon? Why is there an electric current on it? Because, what kind of weapon is this? Why don't you show us the live broadcast? You can only see this beam of light. It must be because it is confidential, so I won't show it to you, only to see the test results. I knelt so badly. My mother asked me why I knelt and watched TV, and I said I saw a divine light. Every time I listen to the end of Bing Bing, I feel so excited. Netizens from Manhwa Kingdom were discussing excitedly. The blow was too strong. I have only seen such scenes in movies and animations. From the sun has set. Wang Defa. What is that? Why even the clouds are open? From Fudi. Laser weapon? No, there is electric current. What kind of weapon is this? From a Sangwa. We also have this kind of weapon, but we haven't brought it out yet. I didn't expect Manhwa country to develop it. This is the divine power of Shiva. From Baba Yang. A powerful brother country. This blow can definitely sweep Ying Jiang's aircraft carrier fleet. Seeing the dazzling beam of light in the sky, Joseph sat up and said, "Fake. What did the Manhwa Kingdom do?" Lycus quickly reported. Just now, the Federation Space Station was making daily reports with our ground-based station, and suddenly saw a beam of light shooting from the Federation Space Station not far away. Joseph was taken aback. What? Manhwa Kingdom really aimed at our space station? Lycus shook his head. No, but the distance is very close. Obviously intentional. Fear. It is not difficult to hit the target if you have this kind of weapon, but it is even more difficult to hit it just by passing it. This requires a lot of calculations. After all, it cannot affect the target. He immediately thought of the practical use of the quantum computer announced by Manhwa before. They all thought it was a trial, and it was still in the development stage. But now it seems that to complete such a complicated calculation, ordinary supercomputers simply cannot quickly calculate it. The Federal Space Station is running all the time, and the data is changing every second and needs to be recalculated, which requires an extremely huge amount of calculations. In the Prime Minister's mansion of the Neon Country, the newborn Yamamoto stared at the dazzling beam of light on the TV, which reminded him of the unbearable history. Once upon a time in their land, such a light also rose. However, the Manhwa Kingdom experiment is different this time. In the Black House, Trump yelled with a flushed face. This must be powered by controlled nuclear fusion. F***K. They dare to launch towards our space station. F***K. Mr. President, Manhwa, it seems that their goal is not the space station. Trump glared and said angrily. Shooting from the side of our space station isn't a deterrent to our space station, telling me that they can destroy our space station at any time? The subordinate immediately shook his head. Take a look. This is the real-time picture sent back from our space station. Trump took the tablet. His eyes suddenly widened. He said in amazement, This is the Earth's weapon. Just when everyone thought that Manhwa Kingdom fired weapons against the Federal Space Station to deter Ying Jiang and warn them that Manhwa country could destroy the Federal Space Station at any time. Ying Jiang satellite TV directly switched the live broadcast screen. I saw that the beam of light in the picture almost brushed against the Federal Space Station and zoomed out through the lens, and everyone found that the end of the target turned out to be the moon. This is the picture taken by the Jiang satellite. Bing Bing explained to everyone. Our weapon test target is actually the moon. We chose to launch it when the Federal Space Station just passed by. Niu Bao, you were practicing fishing in the sea. I have already experimented with weapons to hit the moon. Ha. I can't compare. I can't compare. What can Ying Jiang compare with? Haha, cool. It's so relieved. Let you come to other people's houses to pretend. This is 10,000 times stronger than your weapons. Ah. If this shot hits the face of Neon Country, it must be the most beautiful scenery. Brother, you know the scenery. Joseph slapped the railing hard. We must get controllable nuclear fusion and quantum computers. The moon and the blue star are always moving. If the target is the moon, not only the relative movement must be calculated, but also the movement speed of the Federal Space Station must be calculated. This undoubtedly increases the difficulty of calculation by an exponential level. It can be seen that the computing power of quantum computers is powerful. Trump yelled at the researchers in the Black Palace. You said that Yinhuang's quantum computer is a trial, and it is absolutely impossible to build it at this stage. I believe it. Now you have seen it. This can be done by ordinary supercomputers. You said that Yinhuang's controllable nuclear fusion is still in the research and development stage, and it is impossible to manufacture it at this stage. As a result, other people's controllable nuclear fusion power stations have almost spread across the country. What you say is impossible to create. Do you mean yourselves? Why Yinhuang country can do it? Why Yinhuang country can do it? Fake. Mr. President, calm down. We still have that 393 project. As long as it is completed, it is completely possible to rule Blue Star. A blinding explosion of energy suddenly lit up from the moon. Through the satellite image, the beam of red light carrying electric current shot to the moon and immediately exploded. Quickly raise a hemispherical energy shield with destructive energy. Although no sound can be heard in space, you can still see the mighty power in the picture. The destructive energy shield lasted for 3 seconds before dissipating gradually. Left a huge crater on the surface of the moon, like it was hit by an asteroid. I'm numb. I'm numb. This power is too great. No wonder you want to experiment in space. If this is on Blue Star, I'm afraid that a single shot will wipe out a city directly. Nima, what kind of weapon is this? I really want to know. Joseph's face was extremely ugly. They were all watching the Yinhuang Kingdom's weapon test, and even the military exercises were suspended. Cancel the military exercise. He gritted his teeth and issued the order. It is clear at a glance which is strong and which is weak. Such a powerful weapon, their current conventional weapons are simply incomparable. He knew what that crater, which was the same as the one left by the impact of the meteorite, represented. That means they can destroy their capital, Peanut Ton, in one shot. As long as that weapon is successfully developed, we will have a weapon as powerful as Yinhuang Kingdom. But this scene reminded Michael of seeing the crater in Lanhai that he thought was a micrometeorite impact. It turns out that Yinhuang had tested this weapon several months ago. The firstborn Yamamoto quickly contacted Oda. Hurry up, call back the fleet that secretly landed. Don't mess with Yinhuang Kingdom at this time. Shao Yan smiled wryly. I've contacted it a long time ago. It's too scary. What kind of weapon is that? Why does Yinhuang Kingdom have such a powerful weapon? The firstborn Yamamoto trembled all over. Damn it, we don't even have one in the great Neon country. If that weapon hits our Neon, I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. It's really too strong. Lu Shogwa said with emotion, and glanced at Yi Bai, who was sitting aside, very calm. Half a year ago, the Yinhuang Kingdom was still seeking peaceful development and slowly rising. Ying Jiang is the same as now, domineering everywhere to advertise that he is the world's policeman, showing off his muscles at other people's doors. Most of the Yinhuang Kingdom is patient, hoping to fight back after being strong, because Yinhuang people know the importance of strength. But since Yi Bai was discovered by the Dragon Academy of Sciences, the technology of Yinhuang Kingdom has continued to advance at an unstoppable speed. It has completely surpassed an era in this world. into another line of development, a strong line of peaceful development. Now Yanhuang Kingdom no longer has to be bullied by Ying Jiang to the doorstep and can only bear it. Now they can also drive the Wanfeng space carrier to the sky of Ying Jiang to swear freedom of navigation. And the other party can't find him. This is the power of technology. Wait for the mass production of YBTU tanks, YBT-2Z tanks, and YBT-3E tanks, plus the Dart Dragon armor and YBD-01. YB's-10-2 guns are fully equipped. Yanhuang's army will sweep everything away, achieve the strongest army in the world. When the Ryan Giant anti-gravity fighters are produced on a large scale, their air force will also dominate the world. The Wanfeng space carrier is the strongest combat unit of the Navy and Air Force, and it has surpassed this world too much. All this will be revealed at the Zhuhai Air Show. At that time, the world will be led by Yanhuang. And all of this is behind Yi Bai's contribution to Yanhuang Kingdom with technology beyond the times. So that hall, he must be able to enter. Thanks to Xiaoye, you are now the most important person in our Yanhuang Kingdom, and none of the 5 of us can equal one of you. Yiming gave a very high evaluation, and everyone thought it was very reasonable. Yi Bai alone is worth 5 armies. Yi Bai was flattered and quickly waved his hands. No, the leaders are the most important people in Yanhuang, and the country cannot do without you. Huang Mingyu pressed Yi Bai's shoulder. This is the first time we meet offline. What generally said is no problem. Yanhuang is able to take off because of you. You are Yanhuang's hope. The chiefs all looked at Yi Bai kindly, smiled and nodded. Lu Shouguo laughed loudly and said, "Okay, you have to prepare. Tomorrow is the New Year's Eve party. When the time comes, people all over the country and all over the world will be able to see you on TV." Yi Bai immediately became nervous when he heard the words, "He can do research," although he also did live broadcast. But let him perform on stage? That would be too embarrassing for him. Fat Tiger. Yiming smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'm not asking you to perform a show. It's the honor award ceremony, which is a special program this year." Bai Yin said happily, "Because of your outstanding contribution and to inspire more young people to participate in scientific research, the higher-ups decided to put this award ceremony on the Spring Festival Gala so that people all over the country can see W." Huang Mingyu nodded and said, "To rejuvenate the country with science and technology, we must let everyone who likes scientific research participate in it. Bai has contributed so much to the country. He should be honored long ago." Lu Shouguo walked up to Yi Bai. "After this New Year's Eve party, there is another important ceremony. By the way, you have to measure your body first." Yiming suddenly slapped his head. "I almost forgot it's too late to make it, and the production cycle is very long." He quickly came over and pulled Yi Bai away. "I'll take you to the logistics department. I won't recruit you guys. Just do what you want." 11. Jin Jianjun curled his lips. "It's better than anything else to entertain you, and take good care of Xiaoye." Bai Yin looked at Yiming, who was leaving, and shook his head. "Hey, I said that Oldie is ignorant, so why not let Rower take Xiaoye there? What a great opportunity." Lu Shouguo laughed and said, "Haha, what Lao Bai said is right. Haha, don't tell me. I think Lao Yi's daughter and Xiaoye really match. No, I have to make a match." Huang Mingyu rubbed his chin. "You can have this." Although Lao Yi is the commander of the military region, Xiaoye is an academician of the Academy of Dragon Sciences. When the time comes, our 4 major military regions will be matchmakers. It's important. So the 4 of them began to discuss about getting a girlfriend for Yi Bai. Yiming drove Yi Bai to the logistics department and immediately asked someone to come over and give Yi Bai Xing's body measurements. It must be exactly the same. Yes. Soldiers measure carefully. After the end, Yiming dragged Yi Bai to the photo studio and took a few ID photos. After it was over, I took him to find a painter and painted for a long time. When I finally took him back, it was dark. Lu Shouguo and the others found a place to live. Tomorrow you have a good day off. It's been too hard lately. Now everyone in Yanhuang can work overtime, but you can't," Yiming said in a solemn tone. "You are the hope of Yanhuang's revival, so don't get tired." Yi Bai smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'm in good health." Speaking of the body, Yi Bai remembered that the task could be done, and it was time to unlock new technology. Yiming nodded. Okay, let's go. Because he was going to attend the New Year's Eve party, Yi Bai didn't live in the Beiyang military region, but stayed in a hotel outside Yanjing Satellite TV. After entering the hotel, Yi Bai immediately opened Luban's eyes. Use the capsule phone to search for the scene of Avengers 3, the battle between Iron Man and Ebony Maw, and then pause. Is it locked? Yes. Ding. The analysis is successful. Mark 50 nano armor, star-level technology, can be unlocked. Unlocked! In fact, Yi Bai has considered the battle suit of the Master in DC, but the ordinary bat suit is obviously not as powerful as Mark 50. And the Hellbat armor is much stronger than Mark. I'm afraid the third-level technology point can't be unlocked. If more advanced ones are needed, he would prefer to choose the one-step six-dimensional bat armor. Possess causality that changes reality. Imagination. Ding. Unlock successfully. Consume 1.3 technology points. All technology data of Mark 50 Iron Man armor has been loaded. Yi Bai looked up the information of the battle armor in his mind. He frowned slightly and modified it with one level 2 technology point. It's too expensive. Simply changing the color or something, it costs one level 2 technology point. Yi Baiju's system is too bad. The bad news is that his third level technology points are all gone. The good news is that some tasks have been completed, and there are still 2 points for the second level technology points. He redesigned the color and shape of the Mark 50 armor according to his own ideas. It is more in line with Yin Wang aesthetics. And other performances have also been re-improved. The Mark 50 armor is too long. Let's call it Doer Nano armor. Taking the meaning of Purdue Evil, the power of this battle armor is hundreds of times greater than that of the Dark Dragon armor. It can make a person directly become the strongest blue star. After the Iron Man Mark 50 armor is upgraded to the Doer Nano armor, it is extremely difficult to manufacture. It can only be made slowly after a year. He still needs to continue to consume 2 points of second-level technology points and 2 points of first-level technology points to complete the task. Yi Bai opened Captain Eagle Sauce 1 again and found the segment where Jifalua was transformed. Is it locked? Locking. Ding. The analysis is successful. Super Soldier Serum. It can be unlocked. Unlocked. Ding. Unlocked successfully. Consume 1 point of first-level technology point. All the resources of the Super Soldier Serum have been fully activated. Yi Bai looked through the information and found that the Super Soldier Serum needs to be irradiated to complete the transformation. He started customizing right away. This actually cost him another 1 level technology point. The improved Super Soldier Serum does not need to be irradiated anymore. It can be injected directly. These 2 pieces of equipment, Yi Bai plans to return to the Dragon Academy of Sciences in the next year to develop them. The experimental equipment there is more comprehensive. The Super Soldier Serum needs to be used in a biological laboratory, which is available in the Dragon Science Academy. The Academy of Sciences also has more comprehensive materials for making the Doer Nano armor. There are still 2 second-level technology points, and there are no technologies that need to be unlocked for the time being. Moreover, the production of Doer Nano armor must take a long time. During this period, there are technologies that need to be unlocked, and then unlocked will do. Chicken, G&I is so beautiful, baby chicken, you are so beautiful. Suddenly the bell rang. Yi Bai glanced at the number and answered it quickly, and suddenly the projection of his father was in front of his eyes. All of their families have switched to capsule phones, and now capsule phones are very popular. You can buy a high-tech mobile phone with performance that beats all mobile phones in the world for less than 1,000 yuan. Who will buy a fruit phone? Tomorrow night is New Year's Eve. Why don't you go home, boy? You don't want home. Yi Bai's voice almost made Yi Bai deaf. He said helplessly, "This year, Wang Leheo can't go back to celebrate the New Year. It's the New Year's Eve, but you should see me at the New Year's Eve party." What? You said you were going to the New Year's Eve party. This is my mother's song, Jia squeeze into the camera. Yi Bai nodded. Yes, to participate in a special program. My son is going to the New Year's Eve party. Did you hear him? Yi Ji was excited and showed off to the people next to him. I heard it, Xiao Ye is promising. Song Jia rolled her eyes at Yi Ji and said to Yi Bai, since there are important matters, I won't go back if I don't go back, but remember to come back to the park after the holiday. Yi Bai nodded and smiled. Understood, Mom. Hey, son, remember to bring a girlfriend when you come back after the year. Otherwise, don't come back. No one in this family misses you. Yi Ji reminded with a serious face on the side. Yi Bai lamented how quickly his father changed his face. He said helplessly, I will try my best. I do scientific research every day, so I don't have time to fall in love. Yi Ji stared at the words. Why? There is no female researcher in Yanhuang? Why can't I know one like when I was chasing your mother? It was... Song Jia pushed Yi Ji aside. That's enough, Xiao Bai, just come back. Yi Bai nodded quickly, but his mother understood him. Well, I know. Song Jia suddenly changed the topic. It's better to bring a girlfriend.
New Year's Eve. This is one of the most important days in Yanhuang Kingdom, saying goodbye to the old and welcoming the new year. There is also a tradition at this time of year, that is, the family will watch the New Year's Eve party at home in the evening, which is something that almost every household will watch. This year's New Year's Eve party will be broadcast live on all platforms, including Douyin, Seafood, Slow Hand, Muya, etc., including video software. Yi Bai followed Lu Shogua to the New Year's Eve party, and the two went straight to the first row. Bai Yan, Yi Ming, and the others were already sitting there, and Lu Shogua took him to the side. The people sitting in the first row are almost all very old, and everyone is covered with medals, or they have the lowest rank of general. It can be said that the people sitting in the first row are either honored with countless honors, or they are at the general level. The appearance of Yi Bai attracted a lot of attention. Everyone was very curious about this young man who sat with the heads of the 5 major military regions at a young age. Who can sit with the chiefs of the 5 major military regions, who is not a boss. They had never seen this young man before, and they were sitting together. Old Shin, have you seen that young man? Shin Yi shook his head. I haven't seen it before. Maybe he is a genius in a certain field. This year's gala is mainly to promote scientific research, so I can understand it. Hey, the country has put the promotion of scientific research on the New Year's Eve party this time, which shows how determined it is. This is a good thing. Science and technology rejuvenate the country. Yes, in the past 6 months, our Yanhuang technology has taken off. Private maglev vehicles are affordable and easy to use. Capsule mobile phones interrupt foreign sanctions, and the popularization of controllable nuclear fusion power stations has benefited all people. This is inseparable from scientific research. This year is the first year of Yanhuang Kingdom's science and technology. Shin nodded. More than that, the scientific research progress in the military field is jaw-dropping. Many projects are kept secret. He can't say anything. He can only wait until the air show is announced. At this time, Zhou Ping, Chen Wei, and Wei Chen also arrived, and Jiang Chen was behind them, sitting in the back seat. For 33, the 3 of Zhou Ping walked to the first row while greeting familiar people. After seeing Zhou Ping, Lu Shogua, and others communicating, everyone chatted with Yi Bai. Hey, the 3 academicians of the Academy of Dragon Sciences have such an open chat with him, and they seem to like him very much. It doesn't look easy. I'm afraid that boy occupies a place among the several important inventions we just mentioned. That's right, it's really a hero out of a boy. To be able to chat so closely with so many bigwigs, only those who have developed those epic-making technologies this year have this possibility. Soon, guests arrived one after another. The bigwigs in the entertainment industry, who used to sit in the front row, all sat in the back this year. They also found out that something was wrong. The front row was almost full of military or scientific research personnel. As for the actor Xiao Xinro, either he is at the end, or he doesn't even have a place. Soon, the flashlights came on, the hosts came on stage, and the live broadcast of the National New Year's Eve party started at the same time. Another year with a new atmosphere. This is Yanjing Satellite TV's New Year's Eve party, and I'm the host. The host opened the show for everyone with a smile on his face. At this time, the number of viewers on all platforms has reached hundreds of millions. Happy New Year, everyone. Gong Xie Kai. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Gong Xie Kai ha. It's 1 year older again, really, how are you doing this year? Not good? Don't worry, you will be the same tomorrow. Damn it, it's hard. The barrage is full of joy. At this time, following the host's explanation, the camera gave the guest seat a long view. K. The guest cast is different this year? Yes, although there were some military leaders sitting in the first row before, there were still many celebrities. Where is my brother Long, and the director Lao Mozi is gone? I am GIO, I saw them, they're all in the back row. Their coffee seats can only sit in the back row? Who are the people in the front row, who are not wearing military uniforms? Everyone was surprised to find that this year's guests were different. The New Year's Eve party has been held for so many years, and the guests have basically not changed much. In the first row, there are military leaders, executives, and some leaders in other fields, including entertainment and stars. There will be. But this year, even a big guy like Longa can only sit in the back seat. It seems that entertainment stars are deliberately pushed back. K. What did I see? Isn't that the #1 tank man in our Yanhuang kingdom? Old Shin? K. This is a real boss. Also, that old Lu, who is the father of our fighter jets. Nima, it's too scary. That person is actually the chief engineer of our Yanhuang Dragon God missile, an academician of our country. Old Chen. No wonder celebrities can only sit in the back seat. The identity of the people in the first row is too scary. K. Did you see that? It's the rank of general. Oh my god, it's 5 individual. Crazy. This year's New Year's Eve party is going to do something, this thing. All stand up. Say hello to everyone. Stand up. These silently dedicated people should be sought after by everyone. They are the key people to revitalize my Yanhuang. Hey, who is that young man? He is actually sitting among a group of bigwigs, next to the general. That's right, the others are not officers, at least they are all covered with medals. He didn't have any of them. The first row is basically full of generals and academicians or leaders in various fields. Not a single young man, because scientific research requires accumulation. The research and development of a technology requires not only hard work, but also youth. They have worked hard all their lives to achieve success, and a young man is actually sitting there. All the audience were amazed. Yi Jiang, Song Jia, and the uncle's family watched the New Year's Eve party. I saw Xiaobai. It's really at the New Year's Eve party. Song Jia saw her son at a glance and pointed to Yi Bai on the screen in surprise. It seemed that even the photographer was a little curious as to why Yi Bai could sit in the first row, and even gave a small close-up. CCC is really Xiaobai, haha, my son is really promising. He still sits in the first row, haha. Yi Ji is nearsighted, and saw Yi Bai following Song Jia's hand. The uncle's family also congratulated. Yi Tao is already speechless in horror. Yi Bai actually sat in the first row. Yi Ji may not understand what this means, but only knows that it is very powerful. But Yi Tao knows the weight. Just look at the lineup in the first row, and the few people he can recognize already make one's scalp tingle. Liu Shogua, head of the Zijin military region. Yi Ming, head of the Beiyang military region. Bai Yan, chief of the Changnan military region. Huang Mingyu, head of the Huatai military region. Jin Jianjun, chief of the Chuancheng military region. Zhou Ping, academician of Lonka Academy. Chen Wei, the heads of the 5 major military regions and the 3 academicians of the Academy of Dragon Sciences. This is the lineup of people next to Yi Bai. This means that his identity is at least equal to them. He suddenly thought that Yi Bai is also an academician, and he is probably the one who developed 2 epic-making firearms. Thinking about it this way, it makes sense. It is impossible to say that I am not envious. At this time, the door was knocked suddenly. Yi Ji frowned slightly and walked over. Who is it? He opened the door and was very surprised to see someone coming. Magistrate's son? The person who came was the county magistrate, and there were many other county leaders beside him. all smiling. County Magistrate's son said happily, "Mr. Yi is like this. We learned that Yi Bai, as the pride of our county, attended the New Year's Eve party, and the live broadcast of the New Year's Eve party has been broadcast on the big screen of the Peace Square, so I would like to invite you to join us. Go watch. There are talents like Yi Bai in their county. Let them have a bright face." Not only has a first-class Medal of Merit, he is also an academician of the Academy of Dragon Sciences. Now he is sitting with the chief in the first row of the New Year's Eve party. His performance during his tenure is absolutely excellent. Promotion is expected. Yiji didn't expect that the county magistrate would broadcast live the New Year's Eve party on Peace Square, the largest business district in the county. Yiji glanced at the relatives in the room. "All right, let's go." Yiji, Songjia, and the uncle's family followed the county car to Hepping Square. There were many people watching together in the square, and the atmosphere was very lively. County Magistrate's son got a loudspeaker out of nowhere and said, "Welcome the pride of our county, the owner of the first-class Medal of Merit, Yi Bai, who is also an academician of the Dragon Science Academy, and his family come to watch the New Year's Eve party with us." The crowd immediately burst into cheers. Yiji was already grinning from ear to ear. He has become a celebrity in the county now. The New Year's Eve party is going on normally, and the skits, crosstalks, and musicals prepared this year are all very popular with the audience. The number of people online remains high, and most of the themes are related to science and technology. I feel that this year's New Year's Eve party has been carefully planned. There are many technological themes. Yes, this is a good thing. The revival and rise cannot be separated from technology, so let's not be stuck anymore. Of course, the maglev car I bought is very easy to use. I live in Zijin City. There is no electricity bill, which means that there is no cost to drive. It is much better than before. Envious, but our nuclear fusion power station is also under construction. I believe we will be able to use it for free soon. The program lasts until midnight, which is also the beginning of a new day. The New Year's Eve party rings the New Year's bell at this time. The hostess said loudly. The ringing of the bell that symbolizes the new year means that a new day is coming, and it also indicates that Manhwa has entered a new year. The male host smiled and said, "Yes, everyone should have seen that our guests are a little different this year, because there is a special skirt ring this year." The two looked at each other, and the hostess put away her smile and said seriously, "In the new year, at this time of the beginning of a year, we give the highest honor to all those who silently contribute to the scientific research of the Manhwa Kingdom." The male host also said loudly, "Next is the last link of this New Year's Eve party, and it is also the most important link. Honorary Awards Ceremony." The hostess said excitedly, "Let us pay tribute to the researchers. Let us remember their contributions." The two said at the same time, "Rejuvenate the country with science and technology." Next, I will invite the head of the Beiyang military region, General Yi Ming of the Manhwa Kingdom, to come on stage and award honors to all the great scientific researchers. Yi Ming stepped onto the stage, tall and straight, full of righteousness. He is the youngest general in Manhwa Kingdom. It can be seen that he has made military contributions, so he was also promoted as the award presenter. Lu Shogua, Bai Yan, and others are all in their 60s, and their military ranks came from those years. Soon a table full of medals and certificates, and covered with red mottled, was carried up by 4 soldiers of the Guard of Honor. Their steps are steady and dignified, and all the glory on the table dash. There are a lot of first-class merit medals this year. I don't know who has won them. There are so many high-tech products released this year. The people who develop these technologies must be first class. I guess I can see a few familiar faces, haha. I don't know which old guy is richer. I want to know whether it is the academician of the Dragon Academy of Sciences who developed controllable nuclear fusion. Could it be academician Zhou Ping? I didn't expect that academician Zhou Ping could do such a great research at such an age. It's amazing. Let's read on first. Yi Ming held the microphone and said in a confident voice, "Rejuvenating the country through science and technology has never been talked about. Everyone can see the changes in Manhwa this year. Science and technology can not only enhance our national strength, it can actually improve people's living standards. Everyone nodded when they heard the words. The lives of Yanhuang people have been slowly changing. Magnetic levitation cars, capsule phones, and controlled nuclear fusion have made a big difference in people's lives. There will definitely be more technologies in the future. So, we put this awarding ceremony on the New Year's Eve party, just to let them get the attention and glory they deserve, and hope that more young people can pay attention to scientific research, get involved. This remark aroused the approval of netizens. That's right, everyone is crazy about entertainment stars now, but they forget a lot of people who silently paid for us. Every time I see news that a great scientific researcher has passed away, the popularity is only a little bit, and even a little thing about a celebrity can be trending, I feel very sad. Yeah, let people know those who give. Support the country like this, so that researchers can get more respect and honor. There are so many first-class merit medals this time. When I was a soldier, I saved a person and got a third-class merit. This award ceremony is too awesome. This time the country put the award ceremony on a program that the whole country will watch, like the New Year's Eve party, which shows that the country attaches great importance to scientific research. This battle is unprecedented. I just want to know who developed controllable nuclear fusion. This is an epic-making technology, and it really allows us to use free electricity. I also want to know this is an invention that benefits mankind. Yiming took out a list. The medals I want to confer this time include First-Class Merit Medal for Controllable Nuclear Fusion Technology, First-Class Merit Medal for Magnetic Levitation Technology, First-Class Medal for Yongyuan Anti-Gravity Fighter, First-Class Merit Medal for Laser Tank. As the list was announced one by one, everyone was amazed after hearing it. This award ceremony is really a battle of the gods. Yes, everything is a powerful technology. I didn't expect so many breakthroughs in the military field, and the news is too strict. Isn't it? It's only announced now that the honor has been awarded. We haven't heard of many of them, and the degree of secrecy is too high. When it comes to tanks, no one can surpass Mr. Shen. It seems that Mr. Shen has made another major breakthrough in tanks this year. Everyone looked at Shen Yi, one of the pioneers of tank research in the world today, and he is very famous in the world. But Shen Yi shook his head. I'm afraid I will disappoint you. This year there is a monster genius. I am amazed. This advanced tank first-class skill is probably his. Everyone was shocked when they heard the words, who else can surpass Shen Yi in the field of tanks? They hadn't heard of this talent before, so they suddenly became curious. Shen Yi doesn't know who it is, only that his name is Yi Bai. Hold the grass, no wonder we were so tough with Ying Jiang years ago, so we have made so many breakthroughs in the military field. God, thanks to the researchers, let us revive Yanhuang. Just now my wife said that she likes Jikuan, but she doesn't like scientific researchers. She said that scientific researchers are old and smoky. I just went up and gave her a big pocket. Now I'm single.
1.
Damn, beautiful brother. Scientific researchers are old. That's because they gave their youth to scientific research. Otherwise, when they were young, they would have thrown Jikuan hundreds of streets. Now the first thing to grant is, let Yanhuang enter a new era, develop almost unlimited energy, and make everything possible. The first-class merit medal of controllable nuclear fusion.
Yibai.
Yiming's voice is loud and powerful, full of energy. Yibai got up from his seat and walked onto the stage. Immediately, all eyes were on him. When they saw Yibai's handsome face, they were all stunned. Almost everyone's eyes are full of incredible. None of them expected that Zhou Ping, an academician of the Dragon Academy of Sciences, was not the one who developed controllable nuclear fusion. I didn't expect the developer to be so young. The live broadcast camera also focused on Yi Bai, who walked on the stage. All the viewers in front of the TV saw it, and the person who benefited the entire Yanhuang and allowed everyone to use free electricity is actually so young. Hold the grass, hold the grass, hold the grass. I am still fighting in the Canyon of Kings, and others have created controllable nuclear fusion. My role model, you are so young, you look 23 or 4-year-old at most. And so handsome. Damn it. I brought back my ex-girlfriend who was packing up her clothes and was about to leave. I want her to take a look. Who said that scientific researchers are old and ugly? King pumped her a big penny again bean. Let her roll. Nice job, bro. Shani sighed. I didn't expect him to be Ibai. He is so young. I thought he was at least 50 or 60 years old. The other elders were also full of disbelief. It's true that the waves behind the Yangtze River push forward the waves ahead. At this time, Yibai had already walked in front of Yiming. The award ceremony was solemn. Yiming took a first-class merit medal and a certificate and solemnly put them on Yibai's clothes. Then he smiled and shook hands with Yibai. Yibai nodded and returned to his seat. Far away in a remote county town, on Hepping Square, when everyone saw that Yibai was the first to receive an honor, they burst into cheers, asking for flowers. Yibai turned out to be the person who developed controllable nuclear fusion. Too strong. Haha, he is the pride of our Zuiwang County. Congratulations, Lao Yi. Your son won glory for our county again and made great contributions to the motherland. County Magistrate's son happily patted Yi Ji on the shoulder. Yi Ji couldn't help laughing loudly. Good boy. Good. The tiger father has no dogs. I teach well. Song Jia rolled his eyes at him. I was born well. County Magistrate's son laughed and said, Everything is fine. Everything is fine. The award ceremony is still going on. The next thing to be awarded is the first-class merit medal for the development of magnetic levitation technology. He is a person who has made great contributions in both civilian and military fields.
Yibai.
The old men sitting in the first row were numb. Shen Yi almost dropped his jaw in shock because he knew that Yibai had also developed 2 epic-making rifles, the YBD-01 and the YBZ-10. Plus controllable nuclear fusion technology and magnetic levitation technology. One person has developed 4 cross-age technological products. Chen Lao, the father of missiles, sighed. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. Lu Chung clenched the handle of the seat with both hands. What kind of person is this? He knows that Yibai also developed the Ryan Jian anti-gravity fighter and the Luanfeng space carrier. One person has developed so many epic-making technologies in just half a year. It is unimaginable. Yibai stepped onto the stage again, and Yiming picked up a first-class merit medal to wear for him, handed him a certificate of honor, and shook hands again. Wait for Yibai to go down and sit on the seat. Yiming announced again. Because he has developed a powerful and reliable Longyuan anti-gravity fighter that surpasses the world for the motherland, he is hereby awarded the first-class merit medal.
Yibai.
Boom. Everyone in the audience felt their heads exploded. This is still human. One person awarded 3 first-class merit medals in a row. It was agreed that every first-class meritorious service would be exchanged for his life. So, how many lives does he have? That incomparably powerful Longyuan anti-gravity fighter was actually developed by him? Mr. Liu, you must know it. Lu Qing nodded. It's not just a Longyuan anti-gravity fighter. He also has even more perverted and terrifying technological equipment. A few old people said helplessly, You guys, you are hiding too deeply. I'm so Kingdom. Yibai will be my only idol from now on. He is the true god of scientific research. The cool fighter plane I saw in the National Day Parade turned out to be developed by him. My god, is he a monster? On the Peace Square, there has long been a sea of cheers. Yibai was successively awarded the first-class medal of meritorious service. As a native of his hometown, he was extremely proud. This is genius from their hometown. Go out and talk to people and say, have you heard of Yibai? Our county. The next thing to be awarded is the 3 first-class medals for the development of a powerful laser magnetic levitation tank. a heavy electron magnetic levitation tank, and a magnetic levitation tank in the EMP field. Their developers are to buy. Everyone feels a little suffocated. This is beyond their comprehension and common sense. How can a person know everything about nuclear energy, tanks, electronics, magnetic levitation, etc., and be ahead of the world? He is not a human, he is a god. From now on, the god of science and technology is Yi Bai, Yi God. Yi Xin can easily win the Bell Award if he shows any skill. This is too crazy. The madness of technology. Yi Xin is even more crazy. If you want to present awards like this, I won't be sleepy. The country that holds the grassland still has so many high-tech military technologies, but they haven't even been exposed. And it was all developed by Yi Xin alone, Wang Defa.
Yi Shen is.
Yan Huang YYDS. At this time, the hundreds of millions of viewers who watched the live broadcast were all stunned, and they directly won 6 first-class merit medals at the beginning. Who can resist this? Everyone wants to know how many coins he can get and what other exposed technologies. Old Chen sighed. Others are here to award honors, but Yi Bai is here to buy goods. Everyone nodded in agreement. Every first-class medal is a supreme honor. 520, but Yi Bai has already won 6 pieces this time. It's just that they don't know that Yi Bai actually owns 7 yuan in total. When everyone thought it was over. Research and development of advanced aerospace, first-class medal for naval equipment. First-class medal for research and development of dark dragon armor. Yi Bai. It's not over yet. There's more. In fact, if all the technologies developed by Yi Bai were dismantled and awarded honors. Phase armor, EMP concussion bomb, positive ion cannon, etc., taken out alone, are definitely the top technology in their respective fields. Definitely a first-class medal for meritorious service. At that time, I'm afraid it will be able to hang a whole dress. It is not disassembled now, and it is still awarded with the overall technology. Even so, Bai's chest is already covered with medals. And all of them are first-class merit medals. I admit that I am a small person. At the beginning I said that God Yi sat in the first row without medals. Now it seems that he is here to wear medals. Others get a first-class merit medal for a lifetime. Guangzhou Yaozu. Yi Xin will directly wear it all. It's cowhide, it's so cool. First-class merit is full. So many golden medals because it's dazzling. On the Peace Square, the people in Wen County went crazy. Their county is about to take off. Talents like Yi Bai will definitely be noticed by the country and vigorously developed. County Magistrate's son excitedly said, "Yi, Mr. Yi, the neighborhood of your house just happened to be demolished. How about turning your house into a scenic spot?" Yi Ji was stunned for a moment. Attractions? Magistrate's son explained, "Yi Bai won so many first-class merit medals at once, and soon there will be the same number of first-class meritorious service plaques, which are the best attractions." According to County Magistrate's son's vision, an exhibition hall was created directly. Display all the plaques of Yi Bai's house, make their house a home for scientific research geniuses, and then build libraries around their home, so that young people can learn about scientific research. Yi Ji and Song Jiao looked at each other, a little confused. I guess it will cost a lot of money. Of course they hope that their son can be known to more people. How can any parent not want their child to be famous all over the world? But it must be very expensive to build attractions. County Magistrate's son patted himself on the chest and said, "It's from the county. This must be built by the county." Yi Ji thought for a while and said, "Let's discuss it when my son comes back after the next year. This matter still needs to be approved by Yi Bai." County Magistrate's son smiled and said, "No problem." Then some medals were awarded, but the first-class merit has been taken by Yi Bai alone. The rest of the second-class and third-class merits were successively awarded to the researchers who contributed to the scientific research. This award ceremony is over. Let us pay tribute to those who are still sticking to their positions in New Year's Eve. Yiming gave a solemn military salute and said loudly, "I hope Manhwa will have more scientific researchers standing on the stage of the New Year's Eve party in the future." After speaking, he walked off the stage. The host of the New Year's Eve party came to the stage to say the end of the party. Look, it's full of honors. The number of medals you've won in the past 6 months has almost caught up with our era. You've worked hard to get out of the dead. Liu Shogwa checked Yi Bai's medal and said with emotion, "The previous awards were too hasty. This time is the official reward for you." Yi Bai was very excited. "Thank you all the chiefs for your love." He also wanted to join the army to serve the motherland. But no chance. Now, he has shown his strength for the motherland through scientific research, and he is very satisfied. And the heavy honor given to him by the motherland is even more affirmation to him. Yiming said with a smile, "You have won this by yourself. I look forward to more scientific research results from you in the future." Yi Bai nodded affirmatively and said, "I will devote myself to research." Liu Shogwa said suddenly, "No. Actually, you can consider finding a girlfriend." Huang Mingyu nodded and said, "That's right, I see. Rower is pretty good and has been doing research with you for a long time." Bai Yan echoed, "That's right. Both of you are engaged in scientific research, so you have a common topic." Yi Bai scratched his head helplessly. He really hadn't thought about love. He just invented it all in one go. He knows Rower. She is very beautiful. He saw it when he first tested new equipment in the Zhejiang military region. Impressive, but they haven't spoken much at all. Yiming saw that he was a little embarrassed, so he spoke out and said, "Let them see the children's affairs by themselves. If they can see each other, they will naturally develop slowly." Liu Shogwa smiled and said, "That's right, you guys get along slowly." At this time, the host announced the end of the party, and the live broadcast of the party ended here. The service staff began to guide the guests to leave in an orderly manner. The next day, the first day of the Chinese New Year, Yi Bai boarded a connecting plane and returned to his hometown. As soon as he stepped out of the airport, he saw a large group of people holding red banners, welcoming him home. Today is the first day of the Lunar New Year, and they are all going to pay New Year's greetings. I didn't expect so many people to welcome him. This treatment is no less than that of some big stars. When everyone saw him, there was a burst of cheers. He still has that dazzling medal on his chest. Each one represents his outstanding contribution to the country.
Godye.
All shouting his name out loud. Yi Bai greeted these people with a smile, and everyone immediately cheered. County Magistrate's son personally led someone to pick him up in a car. Yi Ji and Song Jia were also there. Academician Yi, welcome home. County Magistrate's son enthusiastically ran over and took Yi Bai's hand. There is no surprise. The province issued a document this morning saying that they will come down to inspect their county and decide to divide their county into districts for development. This is all thanks to Yi Bai. Yi Bai smiled and nodded. "Thank you for coming to pick me up." He is still a little uncomfortable. To be honest, so many people welcome him at once. But I am proud of it. Now that there are too many people, I won't embarrass you, but you came back alone again. Yi Ji gave him a blank look, seeing that he was still alone, but soon changed his face again. "Hurry up and go home. Your mother made you braised pork. Go, get in the car." County Magistrate's son personally opened the door for Yi Bai. With Yi Bai's status now, he deserves this kind of treatment. Hold the grass. God Yi and I came out of the same airport just now. Nima, I was walking next to God Yi just now, and I'm so close to God. Damn it, I didn't recognize Yi Shen, otherwise I'd go up and ask for an autograph. It's so handsome, even more handsome than what I saw on TV. Oh my God, I'm a fan of Yi Shen from now on. Woman, even if you have vision, Yi Shen is the only true God. I happen to like Yi Shen too. We have common hobbies. Why don't you get to know him better? Until Yi Bai left, the greeters were still holding banners behind. He's more handsome than a star, and he's still engaged in scientific research, plus countless honors and a whole body. Such a man is not a fan, is he a fan? After Yi Bai arrived home with the car, Magistrate's son went back happily. Because of Yi Bai's relationship, I was supposed to go to my uncle's house to pay New Year's greetings, but now all my relatives have come to his house to pay New Year's greetings. There was a table full at home, and when Yi Bai arrived home, everyone crowded up and began to celebrate. Look, Chapter 2.4 is full of honor because it's amazing. This is all glory. Our Yi family is honoring our ancestors. Our Yi family tree has to be re-edited. We must give Yi Bai a separate page and put it at the front. At this time, a neighbor passed by outside the door. Son, look at Uncle Yi. You must learn from him in the future, make contributions to the motherland, and win glory for the family. Yi Bai said helplessly, Sister, I'm only 24 and I'm only 25 just after Chinese New Year, so I'll be fine. Song Jia smiled and pulled him out of the crowd. It's true that you are called uncle. You are 25 years old. You are 26 years old, 27 in a blink of an eye, and 28 in the blink of an eye. By then, you will be on your way to 30. When you are 30, you will be 28. He's in his 40s, isn't he, uncle? Yi Bai shook his head. Yes, he will be able to run to 5 later. Hurry up and bring a girlfriend home. That's the point. The family had a meal happily. Afternoon. Vehicles from the military region came to Ye's house one after another. The plaques of the homes of the first-class heroes were sent home one after another. All the people from the county were attracted to watch the fun in Yi Bai's community. It should be like this when you are successful and famous. Yi Bai's award ceremony at the New Year's Eve party has been trending for several days. He has become a national idol. All the preparations for the New Year's Eve party seem to be for him alone, who won 8 first-class medals. What a horror this is. All the fans who watched his live broadcast before recognized him. Holy shit, isn't this the anchor I watched? The live broadcast is useless. Yes, I said. Why is it so familiar? I have been inventing live broadcasts for 5 years. I still remember the classic brain-bouncing artifact. I am an old fan. Yes, God Ye's path to becoming a god started with that invention. Haha, my friend, the detoxification device. I didn't expect him to be Shin. What the F ***************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************� research and development. Nima. As expected of Yishin, this walk has directly reached the point where no one can match. I said that Yishin hasn't broadcasted live for half a year, so he went to invent for the country. Without Yishin's useless invention, I wouldn't be able to eat well. Yi Bai's previous videos have all been picked up, of course. The live Widowmaker's video is gone. His Douyin live account fans went from a few million to tens of millions in just a few days. It became a top-ranking account at once. The officials are also supporting him, giving him the best traffic pool. The trend of fan growth has not diminished, and it is already marching towards 100 million fans. The only one who can achieve this achievement is the official account of Ying Jiang News. In fact, Yi Bai occasionally watches Douyin 22, even though he is no longer live streaming, he still watches the videos. Academician Yi, our county wants to turn your home into a small attraction. County Magistrate's son sat across from Yi Bai with a smile and said, it just happened to be demolished nearby. It was originally planned to build resettlement houses, but now it has been changed to create a park-like attraction. Demolition Yi Bai is known. The demolition started a few months ago, but because there is a nail household in their community, it has not been discussed. Yi Bai looked at his father and said with a smile, you can discuss this with my father. County Magistrate's son immediately asked Yi Ji, Mr. Yi, what do you mean? Yi Ji had a smile on his face all the time these days, and it didn't stop for a moment. Every day someone comes to pay a special visit. Yi Bai is the most popular person at the New Year's Eve party. Yi Ji nodded. We must answer the call and do something for the county. Of course it is good. The magistrate of Sun County was overjoyed. Okay, haha. Don't worry, the demolition of your houses will give the best, and we are also rewarding Academician Yi. Yi Bai quickly waved his hands. No. The demolition will be done according to the demolition order, otherwise it will be unfair to other demolishers. County Magistrate's son gave a thumbs up. As expected of our county's pride, don't worry, your house will be demolished and distributed according to the plan, and the county will also reward you with a new house worth 1 million yuan. This is also rewarded by the above appropriation. Yi Ji laughed even more happily when he heard that. Their county is not big, and the house price is only more than 4 to 5,000 flats. $1 million house has at least 150 square meters. There will be a new house for Yi Bai to marry in the future. Yi Bai nodded. Thank you then. County Chief Sun said with a smile, you have brought great development opportunities to our county. We should thank you, and you have made so many contributions to the country, which is what you deserve. Look outside. The streets are full of maglev cars, which are all your inventions. After several months of promotion, maglev vehicles are almost on the verge of replacing internal combustion engines. Because the license plate of internal combustion engine vehicles has been suspended, production and import are not allowed. In addition, there are more and more models of maglev vehicles with better performance, safer, and more affordable prices. Consumers are not fools. Yi Ji suddenly said, but what if Lao Li and his family don't want to dismantle it? Lao Li is the nail house, the first one at the entrance of the community. If their house is not demolished, the community cannot be moved. It is precisely this point that they sit on the ground and raise the price. County Magistrate Sun said with a mysterious smile, it still has to be Academician Yi. They said that as long as Academician Yi visits their house, they agree to demolish it. This is somewhat surprising. So, at noon Yi Bai went to Lao Li's house for dinner. When Lao Li saw Yi Bai, he was very excited. Haha, Academician Yi came to our house for dinner. On the table, Lao Li patted his chest and promised, if it is a resettlement house, I will definitely not demolish it. But if it is to build a scenic spot for Academician Yi, I must support it. Nail households were resolved, and Miaoshuan was successfully carried out. Within a few days, County Magistrate Sun brought the blueprints to Yi Bai. They planned it into a park-style attraction. There will be sculptures of his inventions and introductions in the park, shaping it into a science and technology park. Next to it there will be a library, exhibition halls, and science corridors. Basically, a Yi Bai theme park. The province is very supportive of this scenic spot construction plan and has given a lot of support. It can be said that Yi Bai alone drove the development of a county. That's it for the blueprint. In the afternoon, I'll take you to see the house that the government rewarded you. County Magistrate Sun has personally run this matter these days, and the progress is very fast. Yi Bai smiled and said, okay. Their family's resettlement house is in the south of the city, so the reward house selected for him by the county is also in the south of the city. It's just a commercial area, and it's a courtyard villa. In the afternoon, Yi Bai followed Magistrate Sun and his parents to the community in a maglev car. This maglev car is really convenient and easy to use. Everyone is sitting in the car, no one needs to drive at all. And the space is very large, and the silver streamlined interior is very sci-fi. Without Academician Ye's research and development, we would never have dared to drive this kind of car before. While talking, County Magistrate Sun pointed out the car window. Look, this split double-deck lane is only possible because of the magnetic levitation and quantum computer invented by Academician Yi. There will be no traffic jams at all, and it is very safe. Yi Ji nodded and said, that's right, I also bought one. Son, you really did a good job. In the past, we used to say that the luxury cars on the road are all foreign. Look, now almost all of them are our maglev cars. County Magistrate Sun laughed and said, in the past, foreign countries did not give us technology, but now they are begging for our magnetic levitation technology, but we don't give it at all. Excuse me. It is because of Yi Bai's invention that they can be so tough. After a while, the car came to a Chinese-style residential area. At this moment, banners and banners are hung at the entrance of the community, all of which welcome Yi Bai to settle in. Community developers are all welcome. Because of the arrival of Yi Bai, the house directly became the best-selling house in the county. Even people from other places come to buy, wanting to be in the same neighborhood as Yi Bai. This is one of the best neighborhoods in our county at present. The best sellers are all here because of their reputation. County Magistrate's son said that he took Yi Bai's family inside, and there were various welcome signs on the small roads in Yanbian. Many citizens were taking pictures, and all the residents in the house opened their windows and waved to Yi Bai. Some people started the live broadcast, and the number of people was more than 10,000. Seeing such a scene, Yi Ji and his wife were very happy. Their son is promising. Yi Bai also took out his mobile phone and started the long-lost live broadcast. More than 1,000 people came to the live broadcast room in an instant. He hasn't broadcast live for half a year. In less than 2 minutes, the number of people went directly to 10,000. At the Douyin headquarters, the audit quickly reported to the higher authorities. Yi Bai, Academician 2, has launched a live broadcast. The supervisor turned pale when he heard that and quickly said, "Hurry up, the whole network is connected to the through train. I want the UI department to be completed within 1 minute." In this way, the number of people in Yi Bai's live broadcast room increased rapidly, creating a history of growth in the number of people in Douyin's live broadcast room. Just turn on Douyin, and there will be a direct train of Academician Ye's live broadcast on the upper left corner of the video. Holy shit, it's a live broadcast. Is this really Yi Shun's live broadcast room? Oh my god, it's really Yi Shun, my god, it's actually live broadcasting. Yi Shun's little follower sent out a carnival *10. If you want to be Yi Shun's leg pendant, give away carnival *20. Yi Shun's genuine girlfriend is giving out carnival *50 for a time. The screen is full of gifts. F***K, don't give it away. I can't even see Yi Shun's prosperous face. 313. Mom, this battle is near. You guys are making too much money. I want to look at people, not Huazi. Seeing that someone was sending gifts, Yi Bai quickly turned off the gift function from the background. He is not short of money now. He invents for the country, and the country gives him the best treatment. Salary and incentives are not less. At this time, the number of people in his live broadcast room has exceeded 100,000 plus. And there are people with the title of level 60 entering the live broadcast room constantly. Other anchors would call someone at level 40 Big Brother. Come to God Yi. Level 50 has no face. Only level 60 dare to call him Big Brother. That is, look how many 60 level full level numbers are here, and they are all big bosses who have spent tens of millions. Yi Bai smiled and said, "I'm free today. I'll show you around. This is a small house for rewards." Then he took a picture of the cell phone at the neighborhood. The scenery here is really nice. All are Chinese-style courtyard villas with many green plants and large spacing. The developer rewarded him with a house directly to the villa in the center of the best community. God Yi still has a face. Take a look, the rewarded little house. I want to buy a house in that neighborhood too. I can't buy it for a long time. That community is now fully booked, the price you can't imagine. Originally, it was 10,000 flat, which was the best in Yesheng County. Now it's more than 50,000 flat. Compared with Zijin, Yanjing is not bad anymore. Yi Bai didn't expect to have such a big influence. Can affect the price of a property. The number of people in the live broadcast room reached 1.8 million in such a short while. Yi Bai took a picture of his parents with his mobile phone. This is my parents. God Yi's mother is so beautiful. No wonder God Yi is such a teacher. Uncle is so handsome too. Yi Shun's family are all online. Yi Shun. What is Yi Shun planning to invent next? Seeing this comment, Yi Bai said with a smile, "This has to be kept secret. I guess it can barely surpass the world by an era." Yi Shun Versailles, enemy. Yi Bai returned to Lonko Academy with a pot of braised pork packed by his mother. Welcome back. Zhou Ping greeted Yi Bai with a smile. Chun Wei smiled and said, "You have finally returned to Dragon Science Academy." Since Yi Bai was discovered by the Dragon Academy of Sciences, he has almost always been making inventions in other military regions. On the contrary, the time in Lonka Academy is very little. Yi Bai scratched his head in embarrassment and smiled. "Hello, 3 academicians." "Okay, let's go in." Zhou Ping smiled and took Yi Bai into the Academy of Dragon Sciences. You have only been engaged in scientific research for half a year, and great changes have taken place in our Yanhuang kingdom. Wei Chen nodded and said, "That's right. The Wanfeng sky carrier just test-fired its main cannon, and now everyone on Ying Jiang's side is silent." Chen Wei laughed loudly and said, "Haha, it's so satisfying." Zhou Ping smiled and said, "The simultaneous construction of nuclear fusion power plants across the country has reached the final stage now. In a few days, the entire Yanhuang will be able to use clean electricity." Chen Wei pointed to the green plants and the sky in the Lonka Academy. "Look, when the nuclear fusion power plant is fully activated, our environment will get better and better, and we will see the blue sky again, when we were young." Yi Bai then looked up. "When I was a child, the sky was blue and white, and the air was fresh. The windows at home have been open for a month, and there will not be too much dust. But now, if the windows are left open for a few days, the house will be covered with a layer of dust." Both maglev vehicles and controllable nuclear fusion power stations have a great effect on protecting the environment. Zhou Ping took out an ID card and handed it to Yi Bai. "Your laboratory is still in the North District, which has been vacated as your exclusive experimental area. This is your new ID card, which can open all the laboratories in the North District." Originally, there were few people in the Northern Laboratory, so Zhou Ping vacated it as a special experimental area for Yi Bai so that he could research and invent better. And Yi Bai is too famous now. In order to avoid people disturbing his invention, vacating is the best. Yi Bai happily took the ID card. "I may also need a biological laboratory." Zhou Ping was surprised. "Biology laboratory? You actually have research on biology?" Every invention of Yi Bai is of a completely different type. This research and development strength is truly terrifying. Yi Bai laughed and said, "I understand a little bit." Zhou Ping sighed. "You understand a little, and you are leading the world. There is a biological laboratory in the Northern District, right next to your original number 25 laboratory." They sent Yi Bai to the dormitory and left. Yi Bai packed up the dormitory, put down his things, and went straight to the North District with his ID card. Xiaoya is really incomprehensible. It feels like he is omnipotent in any field. On the way, Chen Wei sighed. Wei Chen looked at Chen Wei and asked, "Do you think Xiaoya's research this time will have something to do with the enhancement of the human body that Ying Jiang is developing?" Zhou Ping frowned. "You mean Ying Jiang's Superman plan?" Wei Chen nodded and said, "Yes, after many years of work, there are some recent news." Chen Wei is also a leader in the field of biology. He has a better understanding of Ying Jiang's Superman project. To be precise, they have been researching for 10 years, and they have conducted secret experiments in many places, killing many people. Zhou Ping snorted coldly. "I believe Xiaoya, as long as he enters the field, he will definitely be able to break through." Yi Bai has entered the days of inventing again, and he is going to make the super soldier serum first. Another half-month passed. Finished. Yi Bai looked at the blue super soldier serum in his hand. He finally made a tube of super soldier serum. The eyes of Luban are open. Yi Bai stared at the super soldier serum in his hand for 3 seconds. "Is it locked?" "Yes." "The lock is successful, and the system is analyzing." Ding. Successful analysis, super soldier serum, optimized version, a super drug that can be injected directly without radiation exposure. It can greatly improve the various functions of the human body, so as to obtain super strength, super speed, super endurance, super self-healing power, greatly develop the brain, immunity to most diseases, and prolong life. Perfect, lol. Yi Bai couldn't help laughing happily. After closing Luban's eye, Yi Bai picked up the super soldier serum and injected it directly. The serum bottle comes with a needle for injection, and the injection can be completed by pressing lightly. Yi Bai aimed the super soldier serum at his arm, then lightly pressed the injection button. There was a sound of the deflation valve, and the blue serum was quickly injected into Yi Bai's body. After the injection was completed, Yi Bai closed his eyes and quietly felt the changes in his body. Suddenly, he stared wide-eyed at the ceiling, and blue blood flowed instantly in his eyes. Yi Bai felt a powerful force burst out of his body. Then power instantly filled his limbs and bones. But it was followed by a sharp pain, and he felt that the muscles of his whole body were rapidly contracting, releasing, and repeating. He gritted his teeth and half knelt on the ground, enduring the physical pain. 3 seconds later, the pain disappeared instantly. Yi Bai took a deep breath, feeling an unprecedented comfort in his body. He shook hands, feeling that his hands were full of explosive power. He can feel that he has strong endurance now, as if he will never be tired, and it is very easy for 3 days at a time. It's the same as Captain Eagle Sauce's lines, "I can fight with you like this all day long." And the increase of vitality is a mysterious feeling, like a new life and sublimation. He could feel this wonderful sensation coming from his body. Yi Bai stood up and thought of a math problem in his mind. 94362*7256. The answer came to mind instantly. This is what super soldier serum does to the brain. The whole world has become transparent and clear, and the thinking speed is countless times faster. He walked out of the laboratory and came to the lawn outside, feeling that the world in his eyes seemed slightly different. He closed his eyes and quietly understood everything around him. Buzz, buzz. He keenly heard a fly not far away, flapping its wings very fast towards him. He opened his eyes abruptly, looking at the flying flies. In his eyes, the speed of the fly seemed to slow down countless times. The trajectory of the fly's wings can be clearly seen. He shot in an instant, and with a violent wind sound, he smashed the flying fly directly. He deserves to be a man who can split 50-50 with Thanos. This power is so terrifying. He glanced at the gym not far away, returned to the dormitory, prepared to change out of his white coat, and went to the gym to briefly test his physical fitness. After changing clothes, Yi Bai looked in the mirror. His original figure is also very good, but after using the super soldier serum, his figure is perfect. He doesn't have the exaggerated dimensions of bodybuilders and gym hunks. Instead, it has reached an extreme balance, full of aesthetic dimensions, all of which are just right. Every abdominal muscle is square, exactly the same and flawless. Deep and sexy mermaid lines, internal oblique muscles, external oblique muscles. Every muscle seems to be portrayed. Firm and powerful chest muscles, smooth arm muscles. The overall shape is well proportioned, strong and strong. Yi Bai looked at his back in the mirror again, exerted a little force, and suddenly his muscles showed a Christmas tree. Suddenly, he opened his pants and glanced. Teske, the growth is gratifying. He put on a new shirt and went back to the gym. Immediately attracted the attention of several eyes. The female researcher, who was practicing yoga, forgot the yoga poses for a while and stared blankly at Yi Bai's strong and perfect body. His throat rolled unconsciously, he swallowed, and his legs clamped subconsciously. That's the smell of hormones. 2 other male researchers also stared at Yi Bai with wide eyes. They are all people who love fitness and usually watch fitness circle videos. But they had never seen such beautiful and well-proportioned muscles. If you must use one word to describe Yi Bai's figure, that is perfect. Is this a real body? I thought it was only in the manga. I feel that he can open the back of the ghost directly after taking off his clothes. The 2 villains discussed. Jiang Chen was running on the treadmill with headphones on, so he didn't see Yi Bai. Yi Bai walked to the treadmill next to Jiang Chen and took a look at his running speed.
12 km/h.
Yi Bai also set the speed at 12 kilometers per hour and started running. But he found it too easy. In the movie, Captain Eagle Sauce can pass through the car directly after the transformation. So the speed of 12 kilometers per hour is really too low now. How about hurrying up?
16 km/h.
This speed is equivalent to running fast, and no one in fitness will warm up at this speed because ordinary people cannot keep running for too long. But Yi Bai still didn't feel anything. Click directly to the fastest. 20 kilometers per hour. This is the limit of the treadmill, but not the limit of Yi Bai. At this time, Jiang Chen also noticed the abnormality of the person next to him. At first he didn't care, thinking it was a colleague who came to warm up. But soon he found out that something was wrong. The warm-up speed of this person was too fast, and he was still accelerating until the limit of the treadmill. How can I use the sprint state to exercise as soon as I come up? He looked to the side in surprise. Academician Yi? Jiang Chen's eyes widened, and he looked at the relaxed Yi Bai in disbelief. This guy's muscles are so perfect. I saw him showing his arms during the live broadcast before, but I didn't think they were as strong as today. Although Yi Bai's shirt is still loose, you can basically see the outline of his figure, which is the kind of man's dream. This speed can only be so fast? Yi Bai asked helplessly. Jiang Chen felt like a stick in his throat, like a thorn in his back, like sitting on pins and needles. This speed is too slow. Aerobic exercise should start at least half an hour and run continuously for half an hour at this speed. The average person is already sweating at a speed of 8 kilometers per hour. You are more than twice as fast as others. Jiang Chen nodded vigorously and said, "Yes, this is the limit of the treadmill." Yi Bai frowned slightly and said without a clue, "How long does it usually take to run on a treadmill?" Jiang Chen was going to say half an hour to start, but seeing Yi Bai so relaxed, he simply said, 1 hour to start. Running at 12 kilometers per hour for an hour is not particularly difficult, and Jiang Chen can do it too. But running at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour for an hour, basically not many people can do it. That's the equivalent of running a half marathon at full speed. He wanted to see how well Yi Bai was physically fit. Okay, then I'll try running for an hour first. Yi Bai thought about it. Everyone started running for an hour, and running for an hour by himself should not be too conspicuous. But he ignores that everyone runs at different speeds. Gradually, the number of people in the gym increased. Only a healthy body can maintain high-intensity R&D work. Therefore, many researchers will come to the gym to practice for a while after a day of research. At the beginning, the 2 female researchers didn't leave. They practiced yoga while stealing Yi Bai. They recognized Yi Bai, who is handsome, has a good figure, and is the youngest genius academician. They often forget their own movements, and they will look at each other for a long time, feeling dry mouth. Because Yi Bai was running aside, Jiang Chen originally planned to run for 40 minutes and then do other training. But now it is difficult for him to get off the tiger. After all, Yi Bai is running at 20 kilometers per hour, and he is running at 12 kilometers. If he goes down first, it will be too shameful. There were also more people in the gym, and he couldn't afford to lose that person. Almost everyone who enters the gym has spotted a jumping Yi Bai and a jogging Jiang Chen. They all know Jiang Chen, the former genius of the Dragon Academy of Sciences and a fitness enthusiast. Yi Bai and the others also know that the current genius of the Academy of Dragon Sciences is the youngest king of the academy in the Pale Yellow Kingdom, known as Yishin's scientific research monster. You can see that researcher Jiang is already sweating profusely, but God Yi is still expressionless, feeling that his breathing hasn't changed much. Not only that, Yishin's speed is also very fast. It seems to be the limit speed of a treadmill. How long have they been running like this? 50 minutes. 50 minutes? Yi Bai has always been this speed. That's right. It's always been the speed, nearly twice as fast as Jiang Chen. Damn it. The people around were discussing in low voices and couldn't help but let out a beautiful admiration. The female researchers gathered together to discuss, staring at Yi Bai without blinking, their faces flushed with excitement. So handsome, this figure is so perfect. Yes, yes, no more muscles, perfectly proportioned, looks full of strength. I'm already looking plump. No, he is the walking hormone. I can't watch it anymore. I'm going to take a bath to calm down. I'm afraid of ghosts getting addicted to it. With Yi Bai's perfect figure and unusually handsome face, almost no woman can resist such charm. An hour later, Jiang Chen got off the treadmill panting, but Yi Bai still seemed to be a little bit unsatisfied. Jiang Chen wiped the sweat off his face and shouted in his heart, "Why is this guy so physically fit? He is simply omnipotent." After Yi Bai got off the treadmill, he suddenly realized that there were already many people watching him in the gym. I also felt the hot gaze from the female researcher. He sort of understood why Carter couldn't help touching Ma Zhao after Captain Ying Jiang's transformation was completed. He originally wanted to test his strength again, but now that so many people were watching, he couldn't continue. Too tired. I can't do it anymore, I'm leaving, I'm going to eat first. Yi Bai pretended to wipe his forehead and said goodbye to Jiang Qin with a smile. Jiang Qin really wanted to roll his eyes, unable to complain. Can this acting skill be any more fake? How can you be responsible? Your face is not red and your heart is not beating. How can you look tired? Go, I'll practice again. Jiang Qin was stimulated again. This guy is not only a monster in IQ, but also in physical fitness. He's going to practice for another hour. After Yi Bai left, the sound of exercising sounded one after another in the gym, and everyone was in high spirits. Until late at night, Yi Bai secretly ran to the football field of the Dragon Science Academy. He wanted to test the speed limit. In the movie, the speed of Captain Eaglesauce can reach 96 kilometers per hour. I don't know how strong the system-optimized super soldier serum can be. After setting the stopwatch on the phone, Yi Bai counted to 3 silently in his heart and rushed out like an arrow in an instant. The wind whistled violently by his ears. Yi Bai could only squint his eyes slightly to look at the road. From the third perspective, a figure can be seen running around the football field at high speed. Yi Bai ran 10 laps in a row before stopping. That's 10 laps at full speed around the football field. Not running 10 laps around a utility pole. It is impossible for anyone to do it. 1 lap of a football field is 400 meters, and 10 laps are 4 kilometers. Not only did Yi Bai finish the run, he was just panting slightly. And I feel so comfortable after running. He looked at the time on his phone, and after a rough calculation, his speed reached 138 kilometers per hour. Much faster than a cheetah. If the super soldier serum is popularized, then everyone in Yanhuang Kingdom will be Captain Yan Wing. The super soldier serum speeds up Yi Bai's new city metabolism so that he hardly feels tired, but the food consumption is naturally faster. Very hungry. After Yi Bai finished running, his stomach growled immediately. He had to eat another supper.
Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.